What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak your mind sports talk. That's right. I'm back today, guys. Showing my face. I'm feeling a little better. No, I haven't seen, well, you guys haven't seen my face in the past few days. That's because I want you to see that ugly mug while I was looking the way I was looking. But anyway, Sporting Advantage in the building was good. First up, Sporting Advantage. Link in the chat already. Boxing Monster was good with your Boxing Monster. Wilder fanboys are the worst. Yeah, we get ready to talk about the fans in boxing. That's what today's topic is about. Not any particular boxer, not any particular subject, but I hadn't really been feeling really well for a while, guys, and I wasn't really looking so great. That's why I hadn't been showing my face, but feel better today. So you guys get to see this ugly mug today. That's right, Jack. But no, man, that's what I want to talk about, Boxing Monster, the fans, right? And as fans, we always throw charges at the promoters and, of course, the boxers and managers and everything else. But what part do we play as fans? And it may not be each of you individually, but fans in general, what part do we play in the current situation in boxing? And I think that fans allude to the fact that we play a big, huge part in why this sport is not where it should be. Um, Concerning support, you know, shout out to Julius Ring IQ. He was saying the other day that he doesn't really advocate or support the PDC. He doesn't, and he doesn't like a lot of the things they do, how they move some of their guys. But he paid for the Jamel Charlo card because of the state of boxing, and I wonder with these low numbers that they're reporting. We have all of these fans complaining, we need boxing back, we need this, that, and the third. But yet, as fans, we're not buying the pay-per-view. I'm not going to watch that. I'm not going to spend money for that. Well, as a fan, how do you expect this sport to regroup, regain its traction? You're not going to support it. Whether you like the fight or not, the sport of boxing needs our money. They need our attention. They need our support. And as a fan, if you don't like the state of boxing or where it is, what are you going to do to bring that up? You're going to sit here and complain about Eddie Hearn not giving us a fight? Are you going to sit here and complain about Oscar De La Hoya not giving us the fights? When they do give us the fight, you complain about the card and you just stream it. You don't pay for anything. Well, it's money that's going to bring our sports back as well as these guys competing. The money that's going to bring our sports back. It's the support that's going to bring our sports back. It's the fans' responsibility to do their part if our sport is going to come back as well. And that's what I want to talk about today. So, Boxing Monster, G-Man Boxing in the building, guys. One of my favorite channels. And G-Man is sort of like the MXBC. Came out of nowhere, he captivated my attention. And now he went from non-existent to one of my favorite channels on boxing. And guys, I keep shouting out G-Man. I keep bringing up G-Man because y'all got to go check him out. If anybody will have, I guarantee you like this channel. If you like D. Jefferson's channel, you like the way I bring forth the information. If you like the way I try to call it straight down the line and consistently, then you're definitely going to like G-Man Boxing. Seriously, guys, one of my favorite channels. And I always tell people, all right, well, go check them out, and you feel necessary, subscribe. Well, I'm gonna change that saying just this one time. Go subscribe to G-Man and go listen. Yeah, I'm not demanding, but that's just the statement. Go subscribe to G-Man Boxing. Like, dude is on point, man. That's all I could say about G-Man. Appreciate you coming through, G-Man. Julio Martinez was good. Brian Harkin, what's up there, brother? And Brian cranked up a channel. Brian is talking boxing down. Brian Harkin, go check out Brian Harkin. Brian just got first place in the prediction league this week. Shout out to you, Brian. Congratulations. I tell you guys something. It's hard to get first place in any given week in our prediction league. And if you can do that, You're making a statement. Brian just did that this week. Shout out to you, Brian. Y'all check Brian's channel out. Trav FDY also has a channel. Very, very insightful in the way he breaks down fights and situations behind fights. And when it comes to the computer roll and PEDs, Trav FDY is your man for sure. Trav know what's going on. Chopsticks, my brother, what's good with your dog? Appreciate you coming through. G-Man said, yo, D, without naming anyone, the fighter whose gym closed before a fight after the weekend events and some vids from a few of us, the gym is now reopening. Yeah, I know. G-Man, I think I know what you're talking about. He said, without naming anyone. Yeah, man. Fury fans are the best and the worst. I think at both spectrums, man. We got the best of them and the worst of them, BK. But you and I, we the good ones. We the good Fury fans. And like he always say, it's only one Tyson Fury. And that's a fact. There's only one guy like him in boxing. That's for sure. Dr. Trav. We can get a puffy nipple report. Yeah, Trav, what you got for us on Izzy? Style bender, Israel Asanya. Give us the report, Trav. I'm telling you now, Trav will break it down what's going on with Israel Asanya. Wilder fans are the most deluded every time that Fury hit him. I bet they're shouting, yeah, he's cheating by hitting Wilder with the blunt object. Yeah, man. Both ends of the spectrum, bro. Both ends of the spectrum. Uh, I go to local show, all I can do. Man, Brian says, if it was on Fight TV, I'd pay 15 pounds. Yeah, man, I think that if you guys are in the now, I will say this about the 79, 75.99 or 79.99, whatever that card was, because I won't lie. Unlike Julius Ring IQ, I didn't buy that. You know, but I will say this, guys. The state that we're in worldwide with the COVID-19 situation and economies not being uh, up to par because things are closed down and social distancing and such. That everybody really can't afford that. And I think that was a pay-per-view worthy card, but not $80 worth. And that was part of the problem as well. Blood fans are the worst. They feel as this guy is the best boxer that will ever box and haven't fought no damn body his whole career. Yeah, we're gonna get into all of that, man, because I think the fan base in general, we can't really point out any fans. And this is what we're gonna talk about. I think the fan base in general, all of us guys, all of us, no one's innocent. We all play our part in certain things. Like I just said myself, I didn't buy the fight, right? And and I will be honest, I didn't really have $80 to come off of for that type of entertainment. Because I would take $80 and do something with my 10-year-old daughter first before I would spend it on that form of entertainment. You guys feel me? Uh, when I was out there in the construction world painting, I probably would have bought the fight and taken my daughter out because there was more funds available for that. But again, I didn't pay for the fight as well. So that's why I say we're all guilty to a certain extent. And those are the things we're going to break down concerning the state of boxing real quick. Ralph Unreal in the building. Lisa Bales, what's good with your queen, Lisa? Uh, Spence is ducking Bud. Yeah, well, I charged Spence for ducking Bud earlier. But here's my idea on that, man. Al Heyman and Bob Arum are ducking that fight. We can charge Spence and say, yeah, Spence says he burned down promotion. Spence says, and I've been through that 100 times. Like, and promoters don't tell the truth. A lot of these fighters don't tell the truth. We know that the truth is not being given to us, but yeah, we want to hold people to everything they say. That's just senseless. The facts are this. These are the facts. Al Heyman / Floyd Mayweather, Al Mayweather, shall we say, or Floyd Heyman, however you want to put it. The order was sent down. We know this. No, man down promotions is farce. He's not his own boss. He takes orders. Just like the Charlos take orders, just like Wilder take orders, just like Tank Davis take orders, just like mostly everyone in the PBC who was signed to them took orders outside of maybe Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao. Everyone else was taking orders. So the order was set down for him not to engage into that fight. On the other side, Bob Arum. And I pointed it out early on how Bob Arum stepped in the middle of that fight. Bob Arum has come out himself and said to the public and meant it that he detests unification matches. He doesn't like them. It's not good for his money. So Al Heyman and Bob Arum definitely stepped in the middle of that fight as well. And the order was sent down. At this point, I don't think that Crawford is ducking Spence or Spence is ducking Crawford. I think that their bosses, Spence has a boss regardless of what he says. Their bosses are not making this fight happen. Just that simple. If Bob Arum and Al Heyman, Floyd Heyman, however you want to say it, if they got together and they decided to have this fight, Spence and Crawford would be in the ring fighting, flat out, hands down. So as fans, we can take the stance to charge Spence. We can take the stance to charge Terrence Crawford. But the reality is, their bosses are getting in the way of this fight. For all of you fans that don't want to accept that, then you really just don't want to accept the truth. That's how I look at it. Brian, what's up with you, fam?
None of that. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great. Much better. Like, this is why you get to see me today.
That's cool. I'm glad. I had the flu a couple of weeks ago, so I know how it goes, man.
Yeah.
Something caught me off guard, so I wasn't expecting it. Usually, I get it around December. It's like a yearly routine with me, December or January. It's like, but this year I got it early, so hopefully I don't get it later on. No, right. We're talking about fans, right? Every single fan will like who they like, and it's as simple as that. Some fans you can argue with, and you can have a good conversation with. Some fans you can't. Why why are you thinking my boy? Why are you saying that? Yeah, there's no founded reason for you to say that about someone or about whoever it is you're on about. When you criticize someone, when you criticize one of their guys, and some fans actually listen to reason. So, you can't brush all fans the same, but you can brush some fans as idiots, you know? Um,
Yeah, bro. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. But keep going, Brian, because I'm
yeah,
sending out some notifications. Right.
yeah, no, especially when you have legitimate, good, sorry, legitimate arguments.
Put the blunt down, Brian. Put the blunt down.
Yeah. No, I haven't smoked in years, man. Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe I should, man. I'm already too chill for it anyway, so like, I'm not like, nah. But seriously, um, no, especially when you have legitimate arguments against a fighter and why he's not so great. Some fans will listen to you, others will shout you out, call you names, and they have no rebuttal. But you're a wanker, you're a prick, you're a dickhead. Sorry for you know what I mean. Like, but
Yeah.
but that's the rebuttal, and you're like, okay, you're just proving my point.
Right. Right.
you know,
And I mean, nobody wants to be reasonable about the situation. Like, accountability, people holding themselves accountable. That's an issue anyway.
yeah,
That's an issue with not just sports, but with life, with the
yeah,
life you live. That is a huge issue that it's easy for people to take charges on others, but not hold themselves accountable for their own flaws, for what part they
yeah,
play in these situations. And people are just not willing to do that, whether it be fans or outside. So Boxing Monster says people don't even want to support the zone at $10 a month. D. Jefferson, you really think people are going to buy pay-per-views when you could easily stream it for free? I'd rather watch strip at the strip club. Well, here's the thing, Boxing Monster, and it's that attitude there that is keeping our sport in shambles because it takes money to run sports. Now, I understand what you're saying. I get it. They're free. Uh, I know three of them myself. Three different streams where you can get every fight, every UFC event, every basketball game without paying subscriptions to this stuff. You can do that. But as a boxing fan, no, I don't think that people will do that. So if that's what you're asking me, no, I don't think people will do that. But I'm saying that that is the problem, Boxing Monster, that people are not willing to do that because everyone is not in my situation where they didn't have in their budget $80 to spend for that form of entertainment. Some people have Googles of money. They could have easily spent that $80. They just decide not to. But as a boxing fan, if you desire for the sport of boxing to come back, then you have to give it your full support. You can sit here and keep bitching about Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren and these guys not making the fights, but we're reading the articles. Why are they not making the fights? Because the fans are not there. There's no fans there, so the revenue is not there, right? And why is the revenue not there? Because of what you just said right there, Boxing Master. People would rather not pay $10 a month. They would rather stream it. The same fans that are complaining. So we have to take accountability. What part do we play in this? People look at this Ivan Baranchyk and Jose Cepeda fight. Now, let's realize there are no fans. There are no fans in the arenas. Okay, that wasn't a pay-per-view. But here's the thing: everybody loved that fight. So, as a boxing fan, would you be willing to give that $10 a month? Because we don't know when that type of fight can happen. But if we support the sport that we love, and we start to get more fights happening because the money loosens up and these promoters can pay these fighters and these fighters are satisfied with their purses. If as fans we put the money into the sport we love, then things will also change. We can keep pointing our fingers at the promoters, the fighters, the PBC way they move and all. We can keep pointing a finger at that, but we need to look in the mirror and look at ourselves and understand, Boxing Monster, that I'd rather watch it at a strip club. I'd rather stream it for free. And you're part of the problem. Now, I've already said that I'm part of the problem, but you need to accept with that attitude, you're also a part of the problem of why our sport is in the current situation it's in. And fans in general, at least me going around listening to the arguments, even when we started off this live here, I seen that Fury fans were the worst, Wilder fans were the worst, Spence fans were the worst. Those are fans. No, those are fans that are the problem. So, it's a huge problem in boxing right now. And the fans, all of us, play a huge part in it. All of these idiotic channels. I'm getting ready to get back on it too, guys. Like I said, I've been having some health issues here, but I'm getting ready to get back on the You Idiot segments. Definitely. I've been missing them myself. I know some of you guys, but I've been missing them myself because I still hear idiotic things every single day, right? And it needs to be pointed out. We need to kill these narratives as boxing fans that have channels, as many of us do. It's also our responsibility to report the truth. Call it straight down the line, like I try my best to do, to not hold any boxer. Shout out to Hatman Boxing. No boxer is above criticism or below praise. It's our job to put that idea out there. But it's a lot of channels that's not. It's a lot of channels that's not.
I agree with that.
E. Jefferson, can I address the congregation? I love the sport. I love boxing. And if loving the sport is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Let me give my 2 cents on this just real quick. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the worst fans are Spence fans, or the worst fans are the Wilder fans, or Triple G fans." This is my opinion. The worst fans are the fanboys. All fanboys are created equal.
Yeah,
they're all just as bad. Every fanboy is just as bad as the next one. Doesn't matter who they fanboy for. where you got people talking about somebody is undefeated when they clearly have losses. Somebody's undefeated when they got knocked out. These are the ones that hurt the sport, because especially when you got casuals who are trying to get into the sport, and then they hear these narratives of so and so got robbed when it really wasn't a robbery. That's a stain on the sport. Now, if you really care about the sport, you're going to keep it real. You're going to give credit where credit is due, even if it's not your guy. And it's not that you aren't a true fan of that boxer, is that you got to be a fan of the sport before you're a fan of a man. All right. Yeah. So that's my take on it. All these fanboys are just as bad as the rest of them. And the last thing I want to say about this is that we got to try to be the change that we want to be. You know, if you want the narratives to stop and you make content, then you got to make sure you're not making narratives. And I've seen some people who are trying to combat narratives with narratives, and I think that's the wrong approach. Like, I kind of get it. You get trolled and stuff, and you're just trying to get back at the trolls. But at the end of the day, like, I say this, all right? Try to make jokes out of it when you're doing like a fake narrative, but let it be known that it's just a joke. And then you speak the truth. And then you speak your opinion and let people know where you're coming from.
Right. Let me holler at the chat right quick, guys. Queen Lisa, I think I shouted y'all. What's up, Queen Lisa? 819 Warrior. He said boxing fans are too afraid to see their favorite fighters box. Yeah, that's a part of the problem. Toby Bartlett, what's good with your fam? Jerome Benjamin, what's up, Jerome? Appreciate the team with ice in the building. Let's go. All right, Jay Cooley, what's up, Jay Cooley? And Khalil Nebly, what's up, Khalil? Been a little while since I seen you, Khalil. Khalil, I love Khalil because he always brings the opposition to these discussions, which is definitely needed because can't really have a discussion if everybody's playing yes man, agreeing with everything. So appreciate you, Khalil. Khalil says the worst is the boxing media. They can never give an honest opinion without the agenda attached to it. We expect bias from the fans, but the media is supposed to be objective and neutral. And that is a hell of a statement, Khalil Neblet. I actually agree with this statement 100%, Khalil. I'm going to get back to that. Let me give some more shout outs. I'm going to leave that up. Best of the best in the building, another boxing channel, another guy that does his best to call it straight down the line. Appreciate you coming through. The Troll Network, Charles D up in the building. What's good? Iron Kong, what's good, brethren? Pete, Uncle Pete in the building. What's up, Pete? Always appreciate you. Aaron Rojas, what's up, Aaron? Nick Harmer. What's good with you guys? I just want to make sure I hit everybody. EK stepped up in here. Boxing Algarete, what's up with you, my man? Appreciate it. Funny fucker, what's up with you, my man? Appreciate you, funny fucker. And Gabe Lopez. Okay, so back to Khalil's statement. Here's something I want you to contemplate, Khalil. Before I get to that, I want to go on. So I want to retort and respond to what Red Glove just said. And then we're going to touch on Khalil's comment. Pigeon, Mike Tyson, what's up, bro? Brandon Nicholson, what's up? So, Red Glove, fanboys are the worst. And offhand, when you first hear that initial statement, I think most of us want to say, hell yeah, that's true. Hell yeah. But Red Glove, I want to pose this question to you, fam. Are fanboys worse than the fans that have the funds, plenty of extra funds to support this sport, but then they decide to stream it? Are fanboys worse than them?
I would say they're equally as bad for different reasons.
Exactly.
I don't think one is worse than the other.
That's what I was about to get to. And it's sort of like breaking down Tyson Fury fans are the worst. Pacquiao fans are the worst. Canelo fans are the worst. Wilder fans are the worst. Joshua fans. No. Anybody, like Red said, that's fanboying, they're the problem. For sure, first and foremost. But you take aspects of many different fans and what they do to trash our sport. And I don't think that it's not a measurement. I think that they're all a problem equally. Like a fanboy is a huge problem, no doubt. But a guy who makes $300,000 or $400,000 a year decides to stream a damn fight, but sits there and complain every day, then you're part of the problem too. Because if you have all of this extra income, then you should support the sport that you love. You know how many basketball games and football games I used to go back in the day when I was making Googles of money. Ball games was my thing. I love boxing. I love boxing since I was 5 years old. But the ball game, that environment, the crowd, the energy, that was my thing going to football and basketball games. You know how many basketball, football games, even baseball games that I went to, I didn't give a shit about either team that was playing. Like, I really didn't. But I spent my money. Madison Square Garden. This is great. I don't know if any of you guys had the chance to go to Madison Square Garden.
I've never been to Madison Square.
If you ever get a chance to go to Madison Square Garden, just the atmosphere, the concessions, some of the food they have, the environment, it's great. And I used to go to Knicks games. Listen, the Knicks has not won a championship since I was a newborn. You understand? Yeah. But I'm a Knicks fan to this day, and I used to frequent Madison Square Garden just for that point. I knew we weren't going to win. We wasn't expected to win, but I still went there. I still paid my money. How many boxing fans know that their fighter is about to get into a fight that they can't win, and they don't buy the damn fight? See, that's a problem. That's a problem in this sport today. And let me go to Khalil's comment. I want to get back to that, and I'll read it again. He said, the worst is the boxing media. They can never, Brian, just come back in. I know you probably fell off. It can never give an honest opinion without an agenda attached to it. We expect bias from the fans, but the media is supposed to be objective and neutral. This is why I wanted to speak on this, Khalil. James, what's up with you, fam? Appreciate you coming through. When you look at the media aspect of it, let's analyze something here, guys. Mainstream media is in the toilet right now. You got Brian Costas, who was an award-winning sportscaster. He has a YouTube channel now. You have Will Smith, Hollywood rich Will Smith, has a YouTube channel now. You guys start looking around YouTube, and a lot of the mainstream media has surfaced over to YouTube, Patreon, Twitch. We are mainstream media now, Khalil. And when you have channels like the LDBC, when you have channels like He Knows His Sports, or let me rephrase that, he don't know a goddamn thing about sports. When you have channels like that, putting out these narratives, we are the media now. We are the media source that casuals or people who don't know about boxing, we're the ones that they come to. And all you have to do, don't take my word for it, is look at what's going on in mainstream media, cancel culture. Shows getting canceled left and right. You know, TV stars and sportscasters and stuff coming over to YouTube to start channels. Because this is the media platform now. And as far as boxing is concerned, we've been there for a while. We've been there for a while because boxing was 13, 15, just a few years ago, where mainstream media didn't pay attention to boxing because it wouldn't make any money to talk about boxing. So we're the ones. So when you say that the media, then understand that we are also the media, which is why it's our responsibility as channel hosts and content creators to not do what Khalil is talking about doing. It's our responsibility as the media, as the 2020 media source for boxing. It's our responsibility to give an honest opinion without an agenda attached to it, to report these things without bias. It's our responsibility, but how many channels are not doing that? You understand what I'm saying? That's why I wanted to touch on Khalil's comment there. Butcher's Bucket, evening D in chat. Appreciate your bucket. Butcher's Bucket. Uncle Pete, what's up? What's up with you, fam?
Fucking working.
Oh, naturally. That's what you do.
That's all I do, baby.
That's what you
sneak
do.
Up on me and find me on the, sneak up on me and find me on the job.
Hit.
Hey, if we're the mainstream media, then Red Glove's definitely, what's his name? Marv Albert up on some charges for biting some shit.
Right.
Hey, let me speak on that media just real quick.
Oh boy, here we
somehow
go.
I got kicked off. But like you got these channels that they complain about the old media, they claim that they're new media, but they're doing the same old shit. You know, they're being hypocrites. Like, yeah, they should be calling out the traditional media for being biased, but then you can't turn around and be biased yourself, because you're the very thing that you're going up against, you have become, and now you're part of the problem. And I mean, we're all gonna make mistakes, but you know, you have, like, when you make a mistake, you got to come back and say, okay, I was wrong about this. You know, so I'm just clearing up the air, and people, the real ones, will respect you for that, because nobody's perfect. We've all made mistakes. So, but the point is to be as objective as possible. When you're giving your opinion, let it be known that's your opinion. It's not fact. And like I said, the real ones will respect you. You know, and the other thing is, like I said, be the change that you want to be. I do my best not to worry about these channels who are spinning the narratives, because when I talk about them, that's just gonna bring my viewers over to them. Instead of me complaining about them, let me do me, and let y'all see the example that I'm trying to set for the rest of the community.
Yeah, and you make a great point there too, Red, because I'm guilty of some of what Red Glove was talking about, and I'll explain this. There's been plenty of times.
Red's on the podium today, huh?
Yeah, man. He slides up here every now and then, Pete.
Yeah.
But
who me?
Yeah. No, it's just cracking jokes, though. But look, check it out, though. I'm guilty of some of that Red says, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys heard me say it before. Man, I don't care what you say. That's a fact. And it ain't a fact. It's D. Jefferson's opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it's been plenty of times. I don't care what you say. That's a fact. And it's not a fact, actually. It's my opinion. And a lot of channels do that, right? So, again, but I just think that accountability is a part of it, too. You got to be accountable. Like, how many channels I don't mean to keep picking on He Knows His Sports, right? But I'm going to keep picking on He Knows His Sports because he's the easiest catalyst for this situation. But how many channels like He Knows His Sports get it wrong, right? And instead of holding themselves accountable, showing a little bit of integrity, they come out with another narrative after they got it wrong. This idiot made 100 videos, literally, about how Spence was going to stop Mikey Garcia in the 5th round, no question. After that did not happen, he had all of these damn excuses. He made about 10 videos about how Danny Jacobs was going to be the one that put the end to this Canelo foolishness. And then he comes out after Canelo beats him. Jacobs was paid to lose. He did all of these videos about how the young Anthony Yarde was going to put Kovalev away. And then after he didn't, he comes out with a video. Kovalev took a dive. And see, if you can't hold yourself accountable and say, you know what? I got that wrong. Perfect example. Jose Cepeda, Ivan Barancik. It's only a 33-second clip I made, my reaction to that fight. I was excited. Jose Cepeda won. But one thing I said in that 33-second clip is, hey, man, I called that one wrong. Hold yourself accountable, bro. Be honest about it. You call it wrong, you fucking call it wrong.
D, this is the way I see it. Make sense. Don't make excuses.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I never seen Howard Cosell back in the day smoke a bowl and then scream "you idiot" though. Like I must admit, I mean, I know we're mainstream now, but D, I don't remember Jim Lampley in his tuxedo and his bow tie going, you idiot.
Pete, I'll give you that, Pete. Listen, I literally just forgot to do. Look, this is what I usually do, Pete. I try to.
This guy's got a fucking glass pipe.
I forgot, and I looked at myself in the screen, and I was like, "Oh shit, I am doing that right now."
Jim Lampley's in a haze. Fuck.
Hey, but we do have
listen,
a lot
man.
of
I'm gonna tell you something, man.
resources.
When it comes to boxing, man, I'm gonna say this. It's a lot harder to pick the winner in boxing. There's so many variables, man. It's just one guy against one guy. There's so many fucking variables and so many ways to game the match before you even get in the ring.
Yeah.
Forget about if you picked it right or wrong, right? tell me how the fight's gonna go, strengths and weaknesses for each fighter, and then at the very end, pick how you think the fight's gonna turn out. If you get it wrong, but you fucking call the actual fight right, to me that's more important. That's harder to do than just picking. I mean, we all know who the A side is a lot of times.
Right.
That's
No, real quick, Brian, I'm gonna let you go, but
Sorry.
that is something that is like I'm with you 100%, Pete, on that because that's something that people have problems with too. If
It's hard, man.
if you pick a fight and it happens that way, if you didn't call it that way, then be honest about it, bro. Not like, okay, yeah, I said he was going to win, but man, he might have got a favorable decision. But people that say, oh, I said that guy was going to win, they don't come back and say, yeah, he might have got a favorable decision because that will make them appear to be wrong about the situation, right?
Yeah,
They don't want to
control
acknowledge the fact
you can't
that these
control that
judges
favorable
was on
decision
freaking
shit.
drunks, right?
You
They
can't
don't want to
control that.
acknowledge the fact that these judges was out of their fucking mind. It shouldn't have been like Floyd Mayweather and Canelo. They don't want to acknowledge the fact that Adelaide Bird, no way she should have had 114. A lot of people that hate Floyd Mayweather be like, yeah, that's what I thought anyway. It was closer than what they had it. No, it wasn't, you idiot. This lady was out of her mind. You know what I mean? Like let's be serious about this. So I agree with that point, Pete. Go ahead, Brian. You was getting ready to say something.
Yeah, no, I had that name. For Mayweather, so that was a pretty easy one. But in general, right? We talk about the media and we talk about old school media versus new school media. Well, if you come up in more narratives, and then you're the person who says, well, the old school media have favorites and they create narratives, and you're the person who comes up and creates that narrative. You're your old school media with a new school platform.
Yeah.
So what's the point of complaining about them if you're complaining about them if that's what you're going to do? You know how many times I've been freaking wrong? I'm going to said this to Regla before he went off. I'll probably spend the majority of my time apologizing for being wrong.
Yeah. But at least you can be a man and say, you know what, my bad, guys, or I apologize, I got it wrong. That's a part of the problem. Like Khabib's hat, what's good? I mean, Khabib's been, what's good with your beatboxing in the building? I see y'all there, brother. Scott Brown and my bro Remy 22 in the building. What's good with you fellas? Yeah, and this is what I want to stay on today, guys. I want to stay on us as the fans because this is boxing. This is boxing talk because we're playing a huge part. The fanboys, the dishonest channels, and I don't. This is why I don't like to just say the LDBC. This is why y'all always hear me say LDBC channels, right? Because it's some channels that do that. It's not the entire LDBC, and I don't care what anyone says. If you think it's the entire LDBC, then you probably haven't been around to the right channels that don't do that. Cali Enigma, although we had our issues, he refuses to be alone with the cult mentality, the gang mentality. He's going to say it how he wants to say it, regardless of if 78 puts this narrative down or not. He's going to say it how he wants to say it. Blood boxing. All right. Blood boxing is another one. He's going to say it how he wants to say it. Scrapbook boxing. And I guarantee you, scrapbook boxing probably knows more about the history of this sport than any fucking body that comes through here. I think Mark and Beats and Rhymes may be able to rival him. Only. And I really mean that. Maybe Boxing, Beats and Rhymes. Here's Mark right here. That dude Scrapbook knows a whole hell of a lot about the history of boxing. And if you guys don't know, go listen to it. So you can't just say LDBC channels do this. I mean, the LDBC does this. No, you can say that LDBC channels because there are some channels like that idiot BFTB and Fanon's ball head ass. Okay, you can associate them, but I would never associate BFTB and Fanon with Scrapbook or Blood Boxing. I would never associate them because they're totally two different channels and they come from two way different aspects of the sport. I think I've not heard Blood or scrapbook, in my opinion, come with some dishonest bullshit narrative. I have. If you guys have, that's fine. I have. What I'm saying. What's up, Mark?
Hello.
What's going on, man? We're just talking the fans of the sport of boxing and what part we play in tearing down the sport we love. That's what the discussion is today.
Okay. I'm down for that.
So, what's your take? What's your take on that? Now, give us some insight on how you see
it. We build the fights and we tear them down. We like promoters literally do not matter at this stage. If a fan doesn't speak on it, the fight doesn't exist. Like, I know people don't realize that, but we're pretty much in control. When we voice our opinions and outrage enough, we can either make a pay-per-view sale or we can break pay-per-view sales. I mean, we didn't. A lot of the hardcore fans didn't want to admit it with the Charlo stuff, but a lot of casuals were not interested in buying the pay-per-view, and they voiced their displeasure at the price. And lo and behold, the pay-per-view flopped massively and dramatically. They didn't listen to the fan; it didn't work. Eddie Hearn was told by fans quite a lot and considerably that they didn't want multiple pay-per-views and the pay-per-view prices would flop. Yo, who's got the banging going?
I got it.
Sorry.
Hold on, I got it. All right, there you go.
Somebody's at church.
That's Pete. He's at construction.
Yeah. So, like, you look at it, and then all of a sudden, like, White's pay-per-view start to go down. People are like, well, that's the pandemic, Mark. Really? Is it? I mean, White and Rivas went down too because fans were voicing their displeasure. Dillian White was doing 480K. It's not just because of his opponent that he dropped 180,000 pay-per-view buys. It was how many pay-per-view buys are going. If fans continue to pay for pay-per-view, it will continue. Do you get what I mean? Like, if I come on here and I make a video, let's say I make a video called "Why I'm Not Buying Blah Blah Blah," and I give 15 minutes of pure reasons as to why I'm against the pay-per-view taking place. Yeah, that'll get a couple hundred views, 300 views, 400 views. Next thing you know, you'll go onto a live stream. D. Jefferson's going to be talking about it. He's going to be talking about it to some extent. It'll come up. Mark said this. People will start talking about it. It'll get onto Twitter. Fans will start tweeting back and forth, debating the point. Before you know it, something's built. And that's literally how that crap works. Like, when Wilder said, and I quote, right? And I quote, "It would be great to do this here." And then Anthony Joshua said, "Send me the contract." Did Eddie Hearn really talk about that fight a lot? No, he mentioned a couple of things here and there about trying to make the fight happen. Or did we talk about it for 3 years back and forth, building the fight to where it went from 50,000 views a day between all the channels to over 1.5 million views per day on YouTube from all the channels on the topic? What was that because of Eddie Hearn, or was that because of us?
Exactly.
So, when you ask, are we bad for it? We are great and we are terrible at the same time. Because with us, you will succeed. Without us, you will fail. Do we over criticize? Yes. Are we entitled to? Yes. Do all of us over criticize? Yes. Do we all over criticize the same people? No. Half of us build them up, half of us hate on them. That's called fandom. I mean, you don't have all of the fans in the world saying the Patriots are a great team, do you? No, you have half the fans saying they are. And, well, not even half. You have their fans saying they are, and everybody else shitting all over them. Floyd Mayweather. Only Floyd's fans said he was great. Everybody else wanted to see him lose.
Facts. And still don't give him credit for being great today.
Yeah, well, people don't want it. I can't force them to. I mean, that's still everybody has an opinion. So are boxing fans terrible? No. I think boxing fans, like all fans, this is just my opinion, are amazing fans, because without them, the sport would be gone. Right. Because you will find no other community, even the MMA community, is consistent, as constant, as all the time as the hardcore boxing fans on YouTube. You won't see it. You won't see hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of videos a day from people with 400 subs, 500 subs, 600 subs, 2,000, 4,000, 1.5K. You won't see that. You won't see
any other sport. Any other sport.
No, you do not see that. You don't see people jumping up like me and making a post fight on things. Like today I dropped 2 videos. One's on Chisora and his Porsche and Usyk. The other's on Vasil Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, and it's on pay-per-view in the UK. You won't see that everywhere else. That's just me. I've seen about 100 different topics in the last 2 hours on this fucking platform on boxing.
Yeah. Is that on pay-per-view, Mark? Eh?
It's if you're in the United Kingdom, you can buy this fight on Fight TV for £12.99 at 5 o'clock in the morning. I, for one, now
nice.
No, that is not nice, bro. Because I'm a top ranked subscriber. I'm a top ranked subscriber. I already pay $5 a month, and then at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm expected to pay a premium when USA fans get it for free at prime time.
Right.
That's fucking criminal.
Yeah. So, like boxing algorithm, they said the main problem is that boxing is a worldwide sport, not popular in the U.S. So you got a lot of this country streaming the fights instead of paying for it. It's a culture thing. Latinos don't like to pay. No, I'm going to say this. Boxing algorithm. I get what you're saying, and you know, in some aspects, there's truth to that because of the media in America being so large. But I just want everybody to keep this to fans in general. I don't want to really start kind of going into nationality or ethnic background or anything like that. I just want to keep it in fans in general because I don't care where you are. If you haven't lived there, you don't really know how the fuck their fans respond. That's just like I've not been to Ireland, so I don't know how much these people generally pay on a normal basis. But Mark would because he speaks to people around there. So I don't really want to start breaking down nationalities or ethnic backgrounds. Let's just keep it to fans in general.
Let me say this. Let me say something. People as a whole don't like to spend money on anything. To be fair, we don't.
Right, we're frugal. We're cheap.
Yeah.
Not cheap, but like if you had a choice, right? Liking to do something, right? So versus not liking to do something. Do you like having sex? Yeah. Do you not like having sex? No, you don't not like having sex, right? So you'd like to have sex. Would you rather watch fights for free or pay for them? I'd rather watch them for free if I can get them for free.
Yeah. No, that's true. Can I say something, right? With the Ireland and the UK, most of our thing is done by subscription. So, you know, we subscribe to Sky, you know, and I'm not telling you how much I pay for Sky a month. It's not cheap. And then when a pay-per-view comes, people say $79.90 or $70, what is it, $75, $74.99. Well, I pay that a month for I probably pay more than that a month for my subscription to Sky. You know, that's monthly, and then you had to pay whatever for a pay-per-view.
If Brian won't do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say how much I pay. If you take in my Virgin subscription, and if you take in my Sky Sports package, right? If you take those two things into account, I spend $142 a month.
Yeah,
that's without BT Sport on top of it. If I was a Sky customer, I'd be spending $173. It's ridiculous, fam.
Yeah, and I pay for the BT Sport package on top of that as well, Mark. You know,
are you with Sky?
I'm with Sky. Yes.
So what do y'all guys think would be a remedy to an issue like that?
Get rid of pay-per-view, fam. I'm sorry, but last year there was 6 pay-per-views on Sky Sports box office. There was 3 on BT. That's 9 pay-per-views total. In total, that's 180 quid on top. Just hear me out. That's 180. In America, y'all had 3 pay-per-views last year, I think, or 4. It was $210 to $280, one or the other, right? Let's say it's $280. Then you take in all your subscription fees, etc. Y'all spent $600. That's how much it was in America, $600 to $640. In Ireland, for me to have BT, all the pay-per-views, Sky Sports, etc., it was $1,400, over double.
Yeah.
Over double. Your pay-per-views are Manny Pacquiao Thurman. My pay-per-views, Dillian White and Oscar Rivas.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey guys, can I?
This is what I'm saying. People here and people say, "Well, you still paid nothing for pay-per-view."
You're muffled, bro. You're muffled.
Brian, bring your phone up. Get it from under your pillow.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, all I ever hear is just don't pay a lot for pay-per-views. We pay a hell lot more for subscription. So, that's where it balances out for us, and maybe it may end up as more. So
it is more, Brian. I made a video on it. Like, I ran through everything with people.
Yeah, I remember that video. Mark broke it down.
We pay way more. We pay over double what they do in the States, and I get it. They have way more on pay-per-view. Our subscriptions break our backs over here, bro. Break our backs.
Yeah, that's true. That
was a great video. Mark, you should I reload it. I think you can do that. Like, just download it and upload it again. Like, you should really reload that video, because that was a great breakdown, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. And I always say relativity. Relate your situation to someone else. So, as an American, and why I was saying you should reload that video. As an American, and you idiots talking about what I won't pay for and what I will pay for, then look at what they're paying for to enjoy the sport they love. They already paying for more than us, and because our pay-per-views cost more for a single pay-per-view, you have this idea in America that you're actually paying more. No, you're not. They're paying more. They're paying much more. And if you go watch that, hold on, Brian, if you go watch that video that Mark put out, he breaks it down undeniably. They're fucking paying more, right? And that concept there, when it comes to the fans, because I want to stick to this, the fans fucking up boxing just as much. That concept there, when it comes to the fans, goes back to what Boxing Algorithm was saying. In America, if we pay more, then it also brings the sport up, because this is the biggest media market. So we got to pay here, guys. We got to pay. But go ahead,
So
Brian.
what do you want us to do? Double pay? D?
Yes, especially you fucking owner. You own a business.
All right,
pay
I'm gonna
3
triple
times
pay.
the amount.
I'm gonna triple.
Fuck that. We're gonna spend Uncle Pete's money to bring boxing back.
I'm just gonna keep buying it. I'm gonna keep hitting the remote.
And that doesn't
listen.
That's what you gotta do, Pete. You gotta get all your guys to fight. All right, I'm gonna pay for all of you guys fight at your house.
You know what? One time, I'm gonna tell you something. One time for Pacquiao Marquez 4, my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, my brother's house, they had some kind of a fucking birthday party, some shit, the night of Pacquiao Marquez 4. And they ordered the fight. She ordered the fight on, and I'm watching the fight, and I'm like, this shit's grainy, man. What the fuck is going on? So my other brother, my younger brother, looks and he goes, yo, this is standard definition, bro. Who fucking ordered this shit? I go, ho. Give me the remote. Give me the remote. I fucking clicked down to fucking channel 1014 to the pay-per-view for the HD, and I bought that shit again.
Wow. See?
Coming here with some grainy ass shit. Come on, man.
That's what we need, though. That's support.
Yeah, but look. Well, hold on. If anything, Mark and them should be paying less because of the time.
Right.
Because of the off hour.
Yeah. But if you put it this way too, right, as Mark said, that doesn't include the subscription for Fight TV, which is $5 a month, and then $12.99 for a fight that just get free in America.
And that's just Top Rank.
Yeah. So
okay, but prior to this ESPN deal, what fight were we getting? In other words, we had to have HBO to get Top Rank fights before.
Yeah, but that was fine, because that's like, Pete, how much was HBO? $12.99?
I don't fucking know. Mark, I take it up the ass for my cable. I just now got off cable after like 3 years of looking at fucking $200 a month or whatever I'm paying for nothing.
Yeah, back then, Mark, it was HBO was like in any pretty much basic cable plan. Like it was included. So if you got a cable
at first
hookup, at first, if you got a cable hookup, you just had HBO, and then it got to the point where HBO wanted money, so your cable bill would increase like from $50 to $69 if you wanted to keep HBO on. So that's how it kind of.
But I mean, look. So for me to have Sky Sports, I need to have either Virgin or I need to have Sky, right? Sky Digital. If I've got either of them, that's what we would call our cable. It's just a whatever, right? So for Sky per month, it costs $89.99, right? Without Sky Sports box office, right? Without it, not Sky Sports box, Sky Sports without BT. Sky Sports itself is €45, £40 per month. That's £480 a year. BT is £29.95, €34.95. So that's another 400. That's 880 just for those two packages on top of the already 80, which is 960. That's 1,760. That's before pay-per-view comes into the equation.
Right.
That's fucked up.
What else?
Having the subscription and then having the pay-per-view, needing the subscription to get the pay-per-view is obnoxious. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that. Not because Mark is bringing it around to my thoughts about this ESPN Plus bullshit. It's like you've got to pay for this extra app to give them your money for a pay-per-view. Like you can't just buy the pay-per-view anymore. You can't just click on this shit. That's obnoxious. I admit that's fucked up. But
all right, that guy, Boxing Jedi, IBT. Oh, my bad, Pete. I didn't know you were still talking. Go ahead.
God damn it, D. Kick back and get your bull out for a second. Listen, Uncle Petey. The real issue is this, man. About the fans. Are we good? Are we bad? Just fucking fans. Like, what kind of shit do you scream at the fucking NFL every weekend, D? You scream all kinds of foul shit. All kinds of foul shit.
Facts.
Oh my God, do you fucking scream some foul shit, I bet. Oh my God. So it's like, it's a professional sport. Like, it all costs. Like, you talk about streaming. NFL, I mean, I don't know about now, but now. It's broadcast on ABC. Like, you can get an antenna. You can fucking get an antenna and get it for free. But they're making that money because the advertisers are paying to be in front of you in between the series. So it's like, it's just a business. I mean, that's like, it's all pay-per-view, really, if you think about it. If it's per month for DAZN, or if it's Showtime subscription so I can see fucking Golden Boy cards, or paying for HBO so I can see Top Rank, or just paying per fight. I mean, someone's got to pay. I mean, the biggest sports in the world, we don't pay because the advertisers pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you. Boxing Algorithm stepped in the building. What's good with you, brother?
What's good with you, D? How you doing today? How's everybody doing in the panel?
Oh, great, man. Great.
I just wanted to step in. I'm at work. You know, you guys always catch me at work. But I just wanted to give my 2 cents in about my comment. I was not trying to make it racial. Just want to clear everything up. So,
okay. No, I won't comment at you like that, bro.
No, I know. But there's other people in the chat that work, so I'm just trying to clear it up.
Okay. All right.
So this is the thing. I have a Spanish channel. Most of you guys know that. Most of my subscribers are Latino based. But now, one thing we have to understand, there's a perception that a lot of people think that Latinos just means Mexico. No. Latinos means pretty much everybody from South America. Okay, so I have people from Cuba, I have people from Colombia, I have people from Peru, I have people from all around the world. Now, I'm gonna give you an example. My most viewed live was Gervonta Davis versus Eurydice Gamboa. It got over 50,000 views. The main reason that was because people couldn't see the fight because people couldn't pay for it, and people didn't want to pay for it. So I got 50,000 views. Two weeks ago, you guys know that Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. went against Jorge Arce, right?
Right.
A lot of people, for us, that was free through the zone. What a lot of people don't know is if you were in Mexico, you had to pay for that. You had to pay pay-per-view. I think it was like $20 or something like that. So if you go on my page, you will see that live is right now around 19,000 views. Why? Because nobody wanted to pay the $20 to see Julio Cesar Chavez fight. I was not trying to make it racial. I'm just speaking facts. Like in those countries, especially countries that are not in the same status as the United States or England or any other of the bigger countries, right? The people don't have money to pay for those pay-per-views.
Can I help you out, Algardi? Can I help you out?
Yeah, real quick before you jump in, let me say this real quick, Mark. Boxing Algarete, I get it, but I don't think you understood me either. I just said that I really wanted to keep it away from that. That's why I said I kind of agree with you. And I told you before, I said I agree with you with your point that you're coming with, but we got too much of a race issue, and I want to keep this about boxing. But you're right with what you say. Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
It's like that with all fans. I want to help them out with this. Like, for example, the Philippines, right? So if you were living in the Philippines, you had to spend money to watch the Charlo card. I think it was the equivalent of $45 US is what they had to pay. And I got 18,000 views on my Casemiro video. They weren't there for the Charlos. They were there for one person, Casemiro. Yep. Yep, that's right. Magsayo would have cost them $20. I got 3,000 views off of Magsayo. Like I seen one dude get 180,000 views off of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like that. It depends on like status, availability, how much money you have, all this stuff. And in a lot of these countries, people they don't have a lot of money, man. They don't.
No, and I feel that. So, but what I was trying to say was that my point was that I was trying to make was that I don't think fanboyism is the problem with boxing. I don't think they're the main problem. I personally think it's just we as a boxing community that we love boxing. We need to figure out why, or maybe talk to these UFC fans and why what makes them so faithful to UFC that they're getting 1.2 million, that they're getting 700,000 buys, and boxing is barely touching 120,000.
Well, I'll tell you what right now. Good fights. Good fights. Yeah. If you do a ratio of how many good fights Dana White puts on versus and I'm not even going to say boxing in total. I'll go network to network. If you put a ratio on how many good fights Dana White puts on compared to the PBC, he kills them. Yep. Put how many good fights compared to the zone, he kills them. Compared to Top Rank, he kills them. That's one of the elements right there. But we have to keep in perspective that Dana White and Vince McMahon, that's finding so much success in pay-per-view, has an element that will never survive or even operate in boxing, and that's total autonomy. They have that element. So we can't keep comparing it, and no disrespect to you, boxing Algarete, but people always make this comparison with the fanship of the MMA and boxing. It's not the same, and it's not the same element. You don't do what Dana White say, you fucking starve. You don't do what Bob Arum say, you can go get paid from Al Heyman. If you don't do what Al say, you can go get paid from Eddie in the zone and Matchroom. It's not that element there. You don't listen to Vince McMahon or Dana White, you fucking starve or go work in shoe rack or some shit like that.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How much is a pay-per-view on like an MMA card?
It's different prices, but it's not as much as that bullshit they charge with the PBC.
Yeah, it's around like $50.
Yeah, like that's the most. It's like a $59.99 card, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was thinking if it was cheaper, like maybe it's the price, and maybe that's why. Like $75 is not an appealing thing for a box. Even if you're a boxing fan, maybe for 3 hours of boxing, or 3.5 to 4 hours of boxing. $75 is not an appealing prospect for a lot of people.
Okay, so D.
Yeah.
I'll give you one here. Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya.
Okay, all right, Boxing.
I appreciate it.
No problem, bro. Go ahead, Mark.
Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya was $64.99 plus your $5 for ESPN, so it came out at $70. So they're not actually far off because ESPN do $64.99 on pay-per-view plus $5 as well for their pay-per-views with the ESPN Plus. So they've been doing that too with the boxing. Terrence Crawford versus Amir Khan was $64.99 plus the $5 ESPN Plus subscription. Tyson Fury and Wilder was the same price.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I was just wondering what the pay-per-view price for an MMA fight was. You know,
based off of me just looking it up right now, same price.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you see, I'm not an MMA guy, so I wouldn't have a clue.
I mean, even still, it's like I said, Brian. That's why it's not really the price; it's the level of competition. You know, it doesn't matter if you want to see knockouts or not, which is, I think, in MMA and in boxing, that's the highlight. You're going to draw all casual fans. I was just telling Joshua this from this comment he made here. It doesn't matter. People want to see people get knocked out. They want to see women knock women out. They want to see guys get kicked to the head and get knocked out. And in boxing, they want to see you get knocked out. But just the element and the potential of that happening in a fight, making that, show up week after week. This is what Dana White's doing. That's not what boxing is doing right now. They're not giving us that element, that excitement, these good fights. So it's good fights. That Jose Cepeda, Ivan Baranchyk shit, I can guarantee you right now, we start getting a lot of fights like that, you see the boxing community blow the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
We'll see it blow the fuck up.
Real quick, John. Pete wants to say something. He's been trying to say something for about 6 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, did you read that backstage chat? Well, anyway.
Oh, no. I'll get ready.
I want to say one thing, man. I know I'm in here cutting up and shit earlier with Red Glove, but I wasn't trying to like shit on his point or whatever. You know, I was just fucking around if Red's still listening or whatever. But he probably had to go do something. I'm just saying. I hope it wasn't because I was fucking cutting up and, That's
no.
Red Glove's my boy, man. I wouldn't fuck with Red Glove.
Yeah, he ain't the guy. He not gonna get fucking pissed off anyway. Barker Raider, what's good with you? He said that was an exhibition. I don't know what you're talking about. What's up, Ross Clyde? I ain't even trying to figure out what y'all talking about.
The Chavez versus Arce fight.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Marking them page. I get lost in the chat, guys. Robert Blake, what's up with you, man? IBT, I think I shouted you out. What's up, brother? All right, Jedi. Yeah, so, okay, here you go, Myron Magnus. My bad. You want a link?
Okay, Dubois versus Joyce will be on November 20th.
Yeah, I know. I confirmed that before BT Sport did. If you go onto my Twitter, you'll see me confirming it before even they did. I said November 28th behind closed doors. Had sources confirming that shit to me.
Yeah, I think I might have retweeted that too.
Yeah, my sources was IBT sources, which was my Coppinger sources.
Okay.
Pete, that's to you. BDA, shout out to BDA in the building. He said Pete be backtracking.
Say what? You broke up.
BDA said Pete be backtracking.
I'm moonwalking like Michael Jackson right now. No, I didn't see that. I wasn't paying attention to the chat, so I just I shit on BDA though. I shit on BDA though. Get your Canadian ass in here. I'll shit all over you.
Oh man. Yeah. So back to these moronic ass fans, guys. And okay, so I think all of us here, it's safe to say all of us here are true boxing fans. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of us have a channel, right? We need to push a message. We need to come up with a message that we need to keep pushing. Because look, it starts with one. We got 4 of us here, guys, and then we know other channels that will probably get down and push the message with us. But I mean, I'm being serious here. We need to push a certain message to the fucking fans. It's like stop. Here's one thing I'm saying. Not come up with videos, but I've seen in some people's chats where motherfucker is sharing a damn free streaming service. Like, bro, fuck that. Don't share no streaming service. Don't share no streaming service. Because just like I said, a lot of people have the money to pay for it, right? But they won't. They just won't pay for it. They'll get it for free. If they can't find that streaming service, they want to see the fight. They got plenty of money. They'll pay for it. But if we the channels that say we love boxing and we passing out free streaming services everywhere, it's like, well, what message are we pushing?
We do need to say one thing though. A lot of people who are looking for free streams, it's not just about like they can't afford it. A lot of them actually can't watch it because they're not in those countries. That is a reality.
That's true. I get it. That's true. Yeah. And I'm not ignoring those people. I'm just saying, if we're saying support the sport and pay for it, well, checking out free fucking streams.
Like a
kind of damaging the message.
Yeah. Like if Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko wasn't on Fight TV, I would be asking for a stream, you know. But now it's on Fight TV and I can see it, I'll go and watch it. So, you know.
Well, Brian, you can hit me in the DM. Mark can hit me in the DM. Uncle P can hit me in the DM. You know what I mean? Ivy T can hit me in the DM. We don't have to broadcast it on our channels. Because remember what this started out. We're the new media. So you may be trying to help someone. You know what I mean? I've said it before on my live when I'm doing live commentary, right? I'll say, yeah, bro, here go my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. I'll give you something. But I don't go broadcasting that shit all over. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying these are practices. These are things that we can do because we want the sport to come back. And I'm not saying that no one has to agree with me. I'm just saying I feel like if we broadcast in free streams, we got thousands of people watching us. And now add all of our channels. We got multiple thousands of people watching us. And if we broadcast in free streams, then what is that saying about paying the money to help drive this sport back up?
Yeah. No, the sport does need money. I do agree with that. The sport does need support because I feel like I don't know if it was because I was younger, but the sport used to feel more special. It used to feel like when a big fight was happening or when a fight was happening, it used to feel like a big event. Now it just feels like another event that you have to pay for. You know, and sometimes you look at it and you think to yourself, do I really want to pay my money to watch, just not maybe the main fight, but that card? Do I need to spend my money on that card? And sometimes you look at it and you go, well, that's a good card. I'll spend my money on that. Sometimes you look at it and you go, all right, there's maybe one good fight amongst this card, but do I want to spend my money to watch? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Chet Collins, yeah, I feel you. Chet Collins, what's up? He said, good afternoon, Big D in chat. Hope you're healthy and happy. Hey, I appreciate you, Chet Collins. Appreciate you sliding through. Hey, Chet, I got something for you, Chet.
The one thing you do know is that you win, or even that. You're like, you don't know till camp.
No, I know I'm gonna win. That's always a for sure. It's a for sure. And I won't go into a fight not knowing if I'm not going for it. Like I know I'm gonna win. My thing is give me those 3 belts that are actually mine, and I'm gonna earn them by beating you, and then we go from there.
That's it, chat. That's it. You're gonna earn them by beating him, and then we'll go from there. I was waiting for you to come through, chat. That's what's gonna happen to your boy. He getting his belts taken. Shout out to you, my man. Chet Collins in the building. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to interrupt that. I just had to, me and Chet got this thing here. Jessica, what's up with you, sis? She said, how about watching it for free on YouTube after the fight? That's what I do sometimes. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're not going to, but, if you ain't going to stream it, I'm just talking about the people that streamed it, but, and can pay for it. I think guys that can't afford it or can't get the fight, I get that, man. Like, I can empathize with those people because I've been in that situation. I've been overseas where I couldn't get certain things on television, so I can empathize with that. But
what about this one?
If you can't afford it, like, pay for the shit, bro. Stop fucking around.
What about something like Gervonta and Leo, right? I can afford to spend $15 on it. I'm probably gonna watch it. Do I want to support them? I actually don't want to support them.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I put that up.
I'm only gonna watch it because of one purpose, D. That's because I have a channel and I upload news, right? So I need to know what happened in the fight. However, I don't want to support. I don't want to pay the money for a fight that I don't actually want. That's another thing. Because that's feeding into them giving us stuff we don't want as well.
Right.
Because we don't want that fight. We want Tank versus someone else, like Berchelt or whatever, and Leo versus Gary Russell. That's what we want.
Yeah. I want a Tank versus Devin Haney and Leo versus Russell. That's what I personally wanted, you know? So, you know, like,
I don't really mind. Let me catch this too right quick. My man G Boogie in the building. He said a small donation for the hardest working man in the YouTube land, D the Godfather Jefferson. Don't forget the panelists. Hey, we appreciate you, D Boogie. Always, my friend. Appreciate that.
G Boogie. G Boogie.
Go ahead, Brian. You would get ready to say something. Yeah, G Boogie.
No, I'm just saying. In some ways, I do agree with that. You know, like that's just saying to the promoter. Also, like, well, we're still going to pay you, even though you did not put on the fights. You know, we wanted to see, or the fight we wanted to see. That's like saying to the promoter, well, it's okay. You're doing what you're doing. That's okay. Sometimes it's not. You know, sometimes, yeah. Like there is a balance to it. And I understand if somebody's not interested in a fight, they don't pay per view. I understand that. You know, if you don't really have any interest in watching it, or you think it's going to be an easy one, I think Tank Davis is going to blitz this guy. I honestly do. I think once he lands on him, I could see him rocking, and I could see an easy night's work for Tank Davis. It's a knockout.
It's going to be.
Yeah,
Jessica, that's a good fight. She said, I want Leo versus Warrington. Yeah, that would be one I would have loved to see, especially more than this Tank Davis. I'm not interested in watching Tank Davis fight another guy coming up from weight. We've been watching this dude do this the whole time. Like that's my worst thing about this fight. We've been watching Tank Davis fight guys come up in weight the whole time. And somehow they're selling this bullshit again. It just reminds me of Adrian Broner. Like, no matter how terrible he did, no matter how undisciplined he was, they found another way to sell this guy again. And it's a reason. How many times are we going to watch him fight another guy coming up in weight? Yes. This is just bewildering to me, bro.
Listen, hold on. D, if Adrian Broner's on, let's say him and Keith Thurman fight, right? Let's say them two fight. Are you going to pay $75 for it?
No.
Okay, now let me ask you another question. Hold on. Can you afford to?
No.
Okay.
I'm lying, Mark. I'm lying. Yes, I can.
Right. So you can afford to, right? D knows where I'm going with this. Are you going to watch it, D? Are you going to watch it? Are you going to watch it?
No.
Are you going to watch it on YouTube?
I'll do like Jessica. I'll do it. Somebody's getting supported though.
Are you going to watch it on Addicted Crack?
No.
You know what I'm talking about with Addicted Crack.
Yeah, no. Listen, man.
So you're not going to watch it. You're not going to watch it live for free.
No. Listen, fights like that, Mark. I'm telling you, I've done it plenty of times before. I'll be watching a basketball game or a Monday night football game or a freaking UFC match or a tennis match because you know I love tennis too. I would definitely not be, or maybe a good movie with the wife. You know, wife and booty is more exciting to me than a bullshit fight. I'll tell you that right there.
Right,
booty movie combination.
I'll pay for that shit.
No,
but Pete, listen to me. Pete will, because Pete is a degenerate with pay-per-views. This man has told me the pay-per-views that he's paid $75, but he gets everybody around. He has he has people.
Every one
he
of them.
He has family coming around, big screen TV, lots of food. He buys all the pay-per-views. They make an event out of it, though. That's different.
Not me, though. Yeah, I don't buy them, though. I don't personally. I mean, if it's in my house, I buy it, but I don't always buy every single one of them. But my point is, why not get a group? Why not get the boys together and have a little fucking party? Get a little gambling, a few little whores, you know?
I agree with that. Like fight parties used to actually be in, and they were pretty successful. And like I agree with that, man. Because what is 70? Like I said, that card was pay-per-view worthy because that was a great card, right?
No, the good card.
Yeah. So
Which
if
one?
you take the PBC card, the Tarlos card was a good card, right? So if you take the $80 and you just say 8 people. That was worth $10 all day. That was worth $10. Yeah. So you get 8 people together, you order the fight. Now I'm with that.
Let me ask Pete real quick because I know Pete watches boxing like I'd say like semi-hardcore, right? Because Pete don't watch cards the way I would or whatever. He don't watch 152 cards a year, right? So Pete, did you think when you looked at that Charlo card that was pay-per-view worthy? In all honesty.
Before the fact or after the fact?
Before the fact, did you look at that and say this is pay-per-view worthy? Because this is what's important, D, not our opinions.
I'm listening.
Beforehand, did you go, this is pay-per-view worthy?
I didn't even think about it. It's boxing. We're having a fucking it was just me and my dad watching that fight. That card.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't even think about it, to be honest. I don't even think about it like that. The only fights I haven't paid. Okay, no, let me just say a couple of things, just so you don't think I'm like a total fucking like simp. The number one, if you got my fan and we're watching a stream and the fucking pop-up comes up like an advertisement, my uncle will fucking probably pull out a revolver and shoot you in the fucking back of the head. He'll probably smack you. He'll probably throw something at you. He'll probably flip the fuck out. That's number one, all right? Number two is the only cards that I haven't. I watch every boxing match that's on, like, I guess mainstream media, you want to call it that. I don't fucking watch like 2 guys hooking off in the Holiday Inn like over in Bangladesh. I mean, I don't fucking get that deep into it. But like, if it's a boxing match, it's on TV, I'm watching it. DAZN, pay-per-view, whatever. So the point of the matter though is that the only fights I didn't give a shit about, I watched the next morning on YouTube, were Floyd's fights. Those fights he had on Showtime. I could give a fuck to see that stuff. You know, I mean, to be honest with you.
All right, yeah. I didn't really care about seeing Floyd fight tension or anything like that.
No,
either.
I'm talking about like Guerrero and like
Ortiz
and all that bullshit. I don't want
to. I was
in
the Floyd back then. Chet Collins said, "Man, I can't wait for the 18th of October when you come up and say, Chet Collins, you are the oracle of boxing and the greatest prognosticator of all time." Listen, Chet Collins.
It's so good.
I like how Chet's all like, "Yo, I'm picking the favorite in the fight, so I'm a genius."
Yeah.
No.
Tell me how the fight's gonna happen.
Genius, an oracle.
The oracle. Chet, let me tell you something, Chet. I will give a specially dedicated video to you if Teofimo loses in the fashion that you think he's gonna lose. I will dedicate it.
D, just do me one favor.
What?
When Teofimo gets stopped in the 11th round from body damage.
No.
When that happens, just do me a favor. Make the video saying unrivaled is the oracle.
No, not even.
When it happens.
No, I don't care if it does happen in that round. I'm not giving nobody a video but Chet Collins. And I'm going to tell you why, Mark. Because if that happens in that round, then you only break even with me. Because you know what you said about Richard Comey, buddy. So you just breaking even. So no, you owe me one for what you said about Richard Comey. So I ain't giving you shit. But I will give it to Tech Collins, though. Tech, I'll make that video just for you. But it ain't going down like that, Tech. And I just want to let you know, Mark and everybody else, it ain't going down like that. Because Teofimo Lopez is going to knock Lomachenko the fuck out in the 7th round. So I just thought I'd put that out there. But let's continue.
I guarantee you that doesn't happen. I guarantee you he doesn't knock him out.
D's chasing
I guarantee
that action.
7th round, icing.
D's chasing that action.
I'll tell you right now, if that goes past 5 rounds, it's donezo for Teo, bro. He needs to get him out of there in 4, bro.
Well, I'm glad you thinking that way, because in the 5th round you're gonna be like, what the fuck? No. 7th round, you thought, oh, it's all over for Teo, and bow, got Lomachenko rolling all around the ring. When he knock him down, Lomachenko's gonna roll. Not just gonna fall down, he's gonna fall down and roll. Now watch what I tell you.
Teofimo said, I had ouchies after the Nakatani fight. Right? I had ouchies. It was ouchie. I'm just saying, that kid's never been punched to the body in a professional ring by anybody. Anybody at all. That dude's gonna get ripped to shreds to the body. He has nobody defense. I know you've watched all the film study. You know it. I know you know the weakness.
I know Loma's gonna attack his body, but what I'm telling you is both of their bodies in danger. Lomachenko has been hit to the body like nobody did Teofimo, not like Teofimo's gonna hit him. Not at all. So both of them, I agree with you, but Loma body has got some trouble coming his way too, buddy.
#ouchies.
I'd agree with you if there was a precedent for Teofimo doing multiple body shots in a fight. Normally throw singles.
Okay, I know.
This is like Alabama. This is like Alabama playing like a mediocre NFL team, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna be that much of a. It's gonna be a mismatch like that, bro. I'm sorry for your parlay. Hey, listen, mainstream media. Show them your fucking parlay ticket. That's why you're calling it.
Pete. I hedged the bet. I got a parlay ticket with Lomachenko winning by decision. So no worries,
You're smart man.
I'm sorry for your parlay. Teofimo's getting stopped.
Listen, I bet $5 worth of tickets, and if any of them come in, it's more than 4 times $5. So I can't lose, guys. I don't even care.
Unless Loma stops him.
No.
Nothing happens.
No, I just picked Loma straight for the money.
I thought you said Loma points.
No, straight for the money. Money.
Lomachenko victory.
Lomachenko victory.
Okay.
But I mean, I unanimous decision. I know I didn't put unanimous decision. They only got like decision, technical draw, or some other shit like that. So you can't bet like that. But in the league, I'm gonna put Loma UD. But for the betting purpose, I just picked Loma in that parlay. Because I mean, I know he can win. He's supposed to win. I mean, he's gonna be favored, so I know he can win. So I only bet $5 worth of tickets. Any one of those tickets hit is going to be more than $5, and if all of them lose, I just lost $5.
I'm gonna be so sexually pleased after that fight.
All right.
Oh wow!
Jeez, man, it's just kind of weird.
That's not demonetizable. That's not. I've said it so many times.
I wasn't talking about demonetized. I'm just saying that's weird. Screw YouTube. Mark saying that. What the? Why?
Yeah,
because I'm going to
appreciate that, Jessica. Appreciate
he's a fucking
that.
Loma, he's a Loma section.
Cabbage Patch. Who's that? Cabbage Patch 10. Is that you, IBT?
Oh yeah, that's me. What's up?
That's
what happened to
Raider.
Jedi, man?
What happened to
Jedi?
Up?
He was here earlier, or what?
Yeah, he got pissed at somebody in the chat and left.
You see this photo, by the way? Do you see how terrible he looks? You put this up on screen.
Davis, bro. You need to lean back.
Look at that. That is enhanced.
Yeah. Chet Collins said Loma hits hard. People sleeping on his power. People are sleeping on his power. I agree with that, Chet Collins.
There's people sleeping on his power, but there's also I see a lot of people over exaggerating his power. Who is he stopped at lightweight?
Pedraza. Did he stop Pedraza?
He didn't stop Pedraza. Pedraza went on 12.
He stopped Jorge Linares and he stopped Anthony Crawler. That's the answer to his question.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I just think at the point in which he fought those guys, they're not on the same level or durability or size or anything like that.
Different styles, different openings, different styles.
That's fair, but I don't think.
Theo beats them all too.
Yeah, but different styles, different openings.
Yeah, that's why
he doesn't represent any of the same problems they do.
No, not at all. And this is what I try to tell people about Nakatani. See, that's the other dumb shit. It's the same thing that Mark said. Nakatani and Lomachenko is nothing to even compare there. Lomachenko is bringing a total different set of problems than Nakatani brought to Teofimo.
There is one thing, and this is all I'm going to say. The biggest thing Teofimo struggled with wasn't size, in my opinion, and I've held this from the beginning. It was the speed of Nakatani. It was his actual hand speed. And Loma's hand speed is faster. Teofimo gets very set on his feet, and that's my biggest issue. People can say you're wrong. People can say whatever. I've been noticing it for a while. I've gone through every fight. I see it. It's a startling thing.
I don't know
That's
how
true,
the hand speed with Nakatani and Lomachenko. I do agree with that point. But just some other different. I'm not gonna
Hey, can I ask Mark something?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is Teofimo Lopez good at cutting down the ring?
In my opinion, no. Follows in straight lines.
Well, he's not gonna have to cut the ring off on Lomachenko. Loma's not running away.
I think Loma's going on the back foot in this. He's going to corner to
Based
corner.
off of all the shit that I've seen, he's sparring on the back foot, D.
Listen, I want to tell y'all something. I said this when people first started talking about that comment Teofimo made. He don't like fighting on the back foot. Lomachenko fighting on the back foot would deuce Teofimo up the same way. If Teofimo, I mean, like this dude is, I don't know. Like I've seen fights where Loma was popping guys on the back foot, even like twice, like boom, boom, while on the back foot. You just hear fans say things like, "Oh, he can't fight on the back foot." No, maybe you haven't seen him fight on the back foot as much, or he's not as proficient on the back foot. But to say he can't fight on the back foot, it's just silly to me because I've seen him do it.
I've seen him fight plenty of times.
I've seen him.
Everyone just says he's a front foot in and out fighter, right? Lomachenko on the back foot is actually disgusting. It's the same as Usyk. Usyk when he fights on the back foot like he did against Gassiev.
I don't think he's disgusting. I don't agree with that. I've seen him fight and do some things on the back foot. I don't think like I said, he's not as proficient. But you compare him fighting on the back foot to a lot of other fighters, and he does better. So
I know that you've seen some glimpses of it in some of his fights. I'm talking how he fought in the amateurs on the back foot consistently. Before he went into that change, I'm talking over 80 fights I've seen of this dude on the back foot, circling, in and out, pivot, circling, in and out, off the line, lateral changes, pivot. It's really fucking nice to see. He has that. That's a huge thing Loma has. I'll be right back. I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, he can do that.
Oh, he said he was good. I thought he said he was disgusting. I was like,
no. He was saying disgusting as a compliment, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where that's where the slang barrier just hit right there. I was like, man, what the fuck are you talking
about? That's an Irish slang thing. That's disgusting. Like that's disgustingly good.
I got you. I get it now. Like you know, yeah, I get it. Like here we say that shit is dope, and like to a lot of people, what the fuck do you mean it's dope? I mean,
that's just an Irish. That's just an Irish slang word.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
What up, guys?
I said what's up to you about 15 minutes ago. You ain't say nothing.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Out here in Cali, we say that shit. That shit's sick.
Yeah, we say shit like we say that too over here on. Yeah, that's just sick, and we don't mean as You're gonna die. I mean, it's just a play.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sickening.
Like, what the fuck does gnarly? Is that really a word, gnarly?
Gnarly means cool. Gnarly is cool.
I mean, I know what it means, but I thought I used to think that was a made up word. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Gnarly. I knew what it meant.
I think it was the surfers. The surfers used to say that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the potheads.
Yeah.
It's relatively new, I would say.
Gnarly, dude.
No, that shit's not new. That shit's old, dude. That shit, they used to say that in the 80s.
No, that's what I mean, though. Like, I don't think it's like an old ass word like that. I think it's like, I guess now old, but I'm saying historically it's new. Right. Yeah. It's not like swag. You know, Shakespeare made the word swag.
Yeah, I seen a little video clip on that. Look, real quick. What's up, Double M? Real quick, guys. Charles D and everybody else with a wrench. If y'all notice something that's against the rules, and the person don't got a wrench, then block them. Like if y'all notice somebody bringing that element, block them. I mean, kick them off the channel, bro. Like. I don't, cause I ain't paying attention to all of that shit all the time, and I'm just cruising by something unless it has something to do with the topic, right? And so if y'all see it, just kick them off the channel. That's what y'all got the wrench for. So all right, we're back to it. Somebody was spewing some silly racism in the channel or something in the chat, which I was missing it. So just kick them off, bro. Block them, fella. Yeah. There's enough for y'all. Everybody down there got a fucking wrench. So if there's some idiot coming in here and they don't have a wrench, and Myron, what the hell? You sound like you got a damn canary in your car.
Sounds like cricket.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if somebody comes in and they're not blue, then they're pretty much one of the only few people in gray spewing all of this racist shit, right? So just fucking kick them off the channel. And anybody can do it because y'all all got riches. Don't time them out. Hide them. It says hide. Don't kick them out. We don't want them here. Make it real easy. What's up, Double M? Fans, bro.
Do I sound clear?
We were talking about fans and what part they play in fucking up our sport, basically. The fans of boxing. What's your idea on that?
I was listening to you guys talk about, the Bob Arum issue and the somebody where you have to pay £12 for the fight at 5 a.m. and all of that. At this point, do you think it's where boxing is like really, really low? Do y'all think it's be wise to just have all the fights free?
Who's gonna pay these motherfuckers, man? You guys are missing the business end of this thing.
I think that I said this.
They get paid like they always got paid sponsorship.
Yeah, I know, but listen.
That's before they got unionized. They got a fucking union manager now named Al Heyman, put him on strike. That's a problem. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
Look.
I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay. No, okay, I got you. All right, I got you. So, Myron, this is the thing.
I just asked a question. That's what
I know. This is what I think about it. I said this like months ago that these promoters, these fighters, managers, they all gotta sit down, excuse me, and understand that the money is not there. So they got to come to the table, all of them, and understand that it has to be less. That's number one. But if you did, I believe at this point in time, if they could come to that understanding and say, look, the sport is not going to be able to pay 20, 30, 40 million dollars a fight and all of this garbage. And they had that understanding that everybody has to take a cut at some angle, then you could flood the sport with free television and at least subscription apps and stuff like that. You could flood the sport and bring people back to the sport that way, but you still have to put on the good fights. You can't be putting on this garbage.
Right. So I just think right now, with everything that's going on and the downside of boxing, it may be a good move to do that, put everything free so that the boxers themselves could get in front of the American public more, the world public, the UK public, and everything, so that people can actually get to know these people, fight them off so they get to know them face, you know, and to the point where they become, perhaps it might help them become a household name. Then you bring back the pay-per-view. But I think right now something needs to be done to either just bring fans back to the sport.
Yeah.
So the boxers can get noticed and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I just think I'm not saying it has to be pay-per-view forever, but it has to be a grace. We need a grace period for the sport to gain back the recognition and some notoriety around the world and through the fans.
Yeah.
You see, go ahead, man.
Okay, all right. I just want to add something to that, right? Yeah, that's true, right? But if there's too many pay-per-views, and if every average card or every average fight is a pay-per-view, then what makes a big pay-per-view special?
Nothing. You see, this is the thing, right? We're in a period of boxing where we have, in America, one actual pay-per-view guy, and that's Canelo, right? There's one, right? If you look throughout, like, whatever, the last 40 years in boxing, we go through the last 40 years of it. Like, even if you go back to Holmes, whatever, the only reason any of those guys ever were able to get on pay-per-view was because they beat names attached to them, or they built themselves on regular cable, like on ABC, CBS in America, whatever it was at the time, right?
Bingo.
You used to have their names on those networks. They built the name, people followed, and then people came over and gravitated because they wanted to see them again, right? This is how it happened. Or there was something that happened to trigger something. Right now, they don't have like what Floyd had with Arturo Gatti to get him onto a pay-per-view. They don't have an Oscar De La Hoya to get him onto a pay-per-view to make him a name. They don't have that. They've only got Canelo. So it works in one weight division and one weight division alone. You see, Errol Spence wants to be a pay-per-view star, so does Terence Crawford. How do they do that? Get them on regularized cable in front of people. Don't put them on pay-per-view versus other people who aren't really pay-per-view. Charge the thing, and then other people are only the hardcore people will buy it and fans of them, and they can't reach a broader audience to build their viewing.
Well, that's what I just said. Exactly.
I know, that's exactly what you said. It's common sense, Myron.
No, that we ain't gonna say it's common sense. See, that's used
also,
too lightly.
Hey, can I hit
it
on
should be common sense. It should be.
Yeah, that's better.
Right.
It should be. It should be.
Also, another thing y'all was talking about earlier, D, you said that people want to see knockouts. I don't think necessarily it has to be a knockout. What it is, we need to see back again. What needs to come very, very, needs to be trained to these fighters. It needs to get back, become a main, a part of a fighter's game is infighting. So, because we're not seeing any wars. That's the main thing. We need to see, the public need to see wars. And so nobody has to be particularly knocked out. It could go away to the 12th round, but long as it's a war. Aaron Pryor, Alexis Aguero, I'm sure everybody all here can say that was one of the greatest fights of all time because it was a war. Duran Leonard, the first fight, one of the greatest fights. It was a war. People these guys want to be too pretty instead of get gritty, like me and my uncle was talking about. Like I said, they want to be too pretty instead of get gritty, and the people want to see gritty, blood and guts, banging, not trying to dance or running from each other. Not saying you have to totally, throw out defensive ability, but throw in infighting. Show your defensive ability of slipping a punch in there, then giving a punch. We don't see enough infighting in boxing no more. There's no more infighting. Everybody want to be a long-range sniper from outside and catch you with the ball.
And Myron, you got to keep in context, though, what I said. I said the casual fan.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I know. Hold on. Let me get it out, though. I said the casual fan that dumped in these sports, whether it's MMA or boxing, they want to see knockouts. And I'm going to tell you right now, they most certainly do. All of that you said is great for me, you, Mark, IBT, and even moderately interested boxing fans. Everything you said there was great. But in context of what I was saying, when they show highlights of fights and like if they show a collage They showing guys get knocked the fuck out. And that's what attracts these people that don't know anything.
Yeah, but he's saying it could be a 12-round war.
Let me finish.
He's saying it could be a 12-round.
That's what attracts people that don't know anything that's coming to this sport. Through the sport, those knockouts. So they're not coming to see that war like you talking about until they at least somewhat understand the sport, fam. They want to see somebody get knocked the fuck out.
I think people seeing a seesaw battle would bring people to the sport. And that involves infighting and everything.
I guarantee you, any casual fan who watched Baranchik versus Zepeda the weekend would have looked at this and went, wow. Right. Is this what I've been missing? If they know nothing about the sport of boxing, if they just turned it on to that ESPN Plus, whatever it was, and they just sat down and they watched that fight, and they go, wow, is this what I've been missing?
Yeah, right. It had a knockout, but let me say something. The most montaged fights of all time, right? Or specifically now to sell pay-per-views, didn't actually have a knockout in them. Gatti and Ward, all three of those fights had no knockouts. The first three of Manny Pacquiao and Marquez, there was no knockouts there either. And those were montaged and used as highlights. And they are fights that bring casuals into the sport more than just knockouts. They are.
Yeah, they are. But hold on, Myron. They are. They are, Mark. But that don't have a goddamn thing to do with my point, and I'll tell you why I say that. America, and especially America and the world, love boxing at those times. What you're talking about. So it was a totally different fucking element. And the sport was that popular where, what I'm saying, like I said to Myron, the moderate fans and all of us, hell yeah, we will be drawn to that. But boxing was not even really rivaled by anything, maybe baseball and football at the time. It was boxing was super huge, and it didn't take as much as it's going to take to drive these fans out. That element and those eras of boxing, especially those fucking fights you just mentioned. I know me and my cousins and everybody in the motherfucking neighborhood was talking about boxing during that time, Mark. It ain't like that here. You ask a fucking 16-year-old, 13-year-old about boxing here. They don't know.
Dude, you didn't listen to what I said.
No, I'm just saying. The point that I'm making, and this time, this pandemic, this fucking era, knockouts. That shit y'all talking about.
I was going off. Listen, D. You need to listen to the words. You need to listen to the words I use. The words that I used were in response to the words you used. You said, and I quote, montage of knockouts. I was saying that the fights that are normally used as montages are ones that actually don't have knockouts. You see 4 or 5 knockouts in a montage reel, but more often than not, you see Gatti Ward, you see Corrales Castillo, you see Manny Pacquiao Marquez, the first 3 fights, you see Barrera Morales. You see those fights as the montage fights nowadays to sell pay-per-views, and you do see it with no knockouts. You see hundreds of them.
Yeah, and let me actually kind of add on to that. If you want to look at the contenders for fights of the year last year, right? There were a lot of good ones, some notable ones that come to mind. Errol Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter, Nonito Donaire versus Naoya Inoue, right? I think Jose Ramirez Maurice Hooker is up there too, but surprisingly, because that fight had a knockout, it didn't go as long. Some people thought, I'd rather have 12 rounds of insane action than 5 rounds of insane action, right? Because both rounds were violent. It's really the violence is what matters. If I show my friends, and I've been doing this, right? I'm trying to get some of my friends into boxing, so we'll be in a call or something, and I'll be like, "Yo, check this out," and I'll show them. If I show them Wilder's knockout over Brazil, they'll go, "Damn, that was vicious." All right, that's it, and that's 5 seconds, and they're done. But if I show them the Baranchik Zepeda fight, there's more drama with it. It's not necessarily about the knockout. It's more about what leads to the knockout, right? The Povetkin-Dillian White fight has an insane knockout, but that fight's probably not going to get my friends into the sport because it's more of a surprise thing. It's the drama of the fights. That's what brings people to the sport. That's what brought me to the sport. It wasn't a knockout. It wasn't a 12-round beat down. It wasn't a mismatch. It was a 50-50 competitive back and forth fight.
Bro, hold on. No. Hold on, Mario. Bullshit. This dude This dude that's talking, that's what brought me to this sport. That was very well said, by the way, IBT. Very well
it's
said.
drama, though. It's drama.
Okay.
That's what he said.
Okay, yeah. Hold on, Myron. My turn. That was very well said. Great breakdown, IBT. But this dude, they're talking about what brought me to this sport. 95% of the fucking kids in America is not like this dude. And there's many reasons why, especially when it's going to come to this sport of boxing. And I'm saying 99%, probably 95, I'll give you 5%. It's not like IBT, fam. And I'm saying that for a reason, and he know that I'm right about that. So
you know what? Let me ask you this.
It was well said. But hell no, not like you, IBT. None other than I had. Yeah, you know it. Come on.
When you watching like Hip Hop World Star and all that, you seeing fights, right? Oftentimes, they became popular from fights. So I think the kids are attracted to violence and drama. It's showed every day on movies. It's showed where you see it. You know what I mean? So this is more controlled violence and drama, of course, but nevertheless, you got to see it in a ring. And I don't think one knockout, great. Yeah, he knocked them smooth the hell out. But seeing two guys just like spill their freaking guts out, one getting dropped, then come back and drop the other, and then they both keep going for rounds, and is that like a fight? Then it's like at the end of the fight, like, whoa, it's amazing. It holds you on the edge of your seat for a whole 12 rounds. That's what people want. They want to be held on the edge of their seat, knowing what the hell's going on.
All right. So let me, I guess, I said the knockouts, but earlier I did use the Baranchik and Zepeda fight. I used that as an example of what I was talking about. So, guys, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. We're agreeing with each other.
Right.
People not disagreeing with
hold on,
you.
Myron, hold on for a second. Goddamn. So what I'm saying is this. I ain't talking about Wilder and Dubois going in there and putting them away. I mean, I guess that's like when everybody's coming at me now. It's like, okay, well, he just said a knockout, and maybe I should have been a little more. I should have explained it a bit more, right? Because I did use the Zepeda and Baranchik when I first started this off. I used that fight. Yeah, it's going to be drama leading up to the knockout. Yeah, it's going to be, slugging going on. McCullum, Julian Jackson. But eventually, you're going to get a guy that gets slapped. It's interesting you brought up World Star, Myron, because my kid's 20, 22, 24. I've been through this. You know which fights they like the most on World Star is when somebody gets knocked the fuck out in that goddamn fight. That's what they like. So I get it with the action coming up too, but people want to eventually see somebody get fucking slapped, man. That's what they want to see. Zepeda, Baranchik. This is why I used that fight earlier when I said this shit. Not just knockout. That's it. Come on, guys. Like I know that it has to be some action, some viciousness, like IBT said, some blood flying. I understand that, but a motherfucker want to see a knockout. They don't want to see no 12-round masterclass like Spence gave to Mikey Garcia. People that did come to the sport was disappointed when they seen that bullshit.
They're not saying that.
I don't think nobody was disagreeing with what you're saying. I just think it just doesn't just have to be a knockout. You know what I'm saying?
I think the ending result, ultimately, more people want to see somebody get knocked the fuck out. That's what I'm saying. So I will say that. I'm not saying not discrediting the type of fight y'all talking about. But I think if someone got slept in that fight versus going 12 rounds and they sitting there to see who gets their hand raised, I'm not so sure that people won't eventually want to see somebody laid the fuck out. Because for my sons, his friends, nephews, kids, that's what they want to see motherfuckers get knocked out. And you use World Star, Brian, and they want to see motherfuckers get slapped.
Here, can I respond to this in some way, right?
I used to say we attract the drama and violence.
Yeah. Can I respond to something, right? It was a good fight, 12 rounds, two guys go in there, beat the living shit out of each other. One guy gets off the canvas, the next guy gets off the canvas, gets up, go up, beat each other up again. There's points in the fight where one guy's on top, and then the next thing, and the other guy's on top, right? And at the end of it, it's 7-5, 6-6, 7-5 the other way, right? What do we want to see after that? We want to see a rematch. That is drama.
True.
Round 13. Round 13, let's go again. Right? I want to see a rematch of Baranchyk versus Zepeda. I've been saying this since Saturday night or Sunday morning for me. I've been saying this since Sunday morning. I want to see a rematch. That was beautiful from both guys. Both guys just gave it everything they had, and Zepeda just slapped them. But it could have went either way. And a lot of people saying Zepeda, you know,
y'all too much boxing fans to put your mindset of a casual. That's what it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen, I'm a dead ass. I'm a casual fan.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Listen to me. Listen to me. No.
Nerd, nigga. Get out of here.
No. Listen. I showed my friends, right? I showed them the Wilder KO highlight reel. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, my dumb brain. Yeah, they're gonna like this, right? I just showed them the knockouts, and I show them getting hurt by Ortiz.
Okay, IBT, I just cleared all that up, bro. I'm not just like I wasn't just coming from no like one knockout, boom, boom. But the ending result, like it's got to be a knockout, fam.
It doesn't have to be. It's better.
Okay.
It's sometimes better. It's more.
That's what
appealing.
I'm saying. That's my point. That's gonna
sometimes,
bring more
but
fans. It's better. Like
there are some fights that are elevated by not having a knockout.
I get that, but listen. If I say it's better, it's going to bring more fans. Basically, it's what you just said. And sometimes it's better. I'm just saying most of the times it's better. I'm not saying that the fights y'all talking about don't bring no fucking fans. I'm just saying most people, bro, I'm telling you, most people that end the result, they want to see that fucking knockout, man. I want to see somebody get slept. And I think that if you get fights like Baranchyk, and Zepeda versus a fight that's a good war, I think that fight where a guy get dropped, boom, 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 guy gets knocked out, I think that type of fight brings more fans than a good war. That's just my opinion. I think a good war for boxing fans like us on the panel and even a moderate boxing fan that begins to understand the game, right? Even the social boxing fan that understands the game a little bit. I agree with you guys. But I'm saying putting it into the raw mind of some it's just this crazy fucking fascination with human beings that they want to see somebody get hurt to the max. Well, guy getting slapped on campus, that's it. That attracts them. You know, once they watch 10 or 11 fights, they're going to move into the mindset that you and everybody. That's going to probably keep them in. Like, yeah, those type of wars and that type of shit. But immediately, man, nah, bro. Somebody getting slapped. That's what they like. Somebody getting slapped the fuck out.
Let me ask a question connected with the pay-per-view. Do you feel like you've gotten your money's worth off of a 12-round war after paying like 3 12-round wars after paying $75 or 3 knockouts?
I feel but that's irrelevant because I'm not the casual mind.
It matters more what happens before the knockout. That is a pay-to fight. A fight could go 36 rounds and have less action than that 5-rounder. It's what happens leading up to the knockout. That's what I'm saying. It's important for the drama. It's not just the knockout. It's not just 12 rounds. It's a lot more intricate than those things.
I won't disagree with that. And again, I used the Baranchyk and Zepeda fight when I first made the statement, just with the understanding. I didn't explain it like you guys are explaining all of your points. And as you guys are starting to explain all of your points, it's just coming to the fact where it's making it seem like, oh, I was just saying just a knockout. Again,
what I'm saying is
Zepeda and Baranchyk fight in the beginning. But for a lot of what IBT is saying, I agree with IBT. But I'm just saying it gotta lead. It's gotta that end the result gotta be somebody getting stopped. And that's what I mean. When they see a guy gets laid out, not so much TKOs, and I'm talking about knockouts. Dude, goddamn slumped over. That brings people in.
Well, I think pay-per-view. The main thing why pay-per-view, people are now rejecting pay-per-view. Most of it's because we felt like we didn't get our money's worth from the fights. You feel me? Yeah. I paid $75 for that shit, and like, fuck. Whether it's Mayweather, whether it's a Canelo fight, whether it's all this, you feel like you wasted your money because you didn't get the excitement that you expected. And that is a fact.
They overhyped it, and it was
And
underwhelming.
it was a boring fight. So that's what I'm saying. We need wars again. You feel me? And then if you got the war,
wars are always good. A good ring war is good. It brings a casual fan. I show the young guy.
You feel like you didn't waste your money if everybody fought their heart out. You know what I mean? Really show who wanted the most. You feel like you didn't waste your money. And that's why pay-per-views are sucking right now. You know what I mean? Because people don't want to waste the money for some. They don't want to risk paying that shit and getting boring fights.
Yeah, that's tracks, Pete. You do. You need a good card too. You need good under fights, not just you don't need a Ivan Baran chicken Zepeda, but then garbage everywhere else because it's just a boring show until you get up to that fight. So you need like I said, that's why I said that PVC card. That card was worth money. Not, I still would say $80, but I know that Charlo was the main event, but the whole card was good. And if they can deliver cards like that, even this card, this last card was Zepeda. It was pretty. I don't know about the big guys, but what was it? Abe and the Villanello. I don't know about that fight, but
no, I like that. I like that fight because I just thought Abe.
That was just sloppy to me, man.
Abe outworked him. No, it was a sloppy fight because at the end of the day, Abe is a journeyman, and Villanello or whatever its freaking name is, Villanello. Yeah. He just he looks sloppy. He's meant to be the up and coming big fighter, and he couldn't even get past eBay. So I think that proves something that he's not ready, and he has to go back to the drawing board or just give it up. So at least we find something out about that.
Speaking about a fight like that, that's the type of fight that I don't think brings fans in.
Yeah,
that was just a sloppy fight. It was ugly, and that's what I'm saying. Like with the UFC and I don't even count WWE because he's selling the show. But when you look at the UFC, for the most part, on his main cards, he gives you fight. Guys are moving, they're active. That kind of sloppiness, man, that's not going to attract fans. It was good.
You ever look into the business? You ever look into the business of boxing? Go ahead.
Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Saying, you ever look into the business of boxing, like how the business structure is broken down on it?
No,
I mean,
not too much.
Honestly, it's worth looking into because it kind of explains like the evolution of like where boxing's come in the last maybe 20 years. It pretty much explains a lot. In other words, let's let D have a phone call for the This guy's talking on the phone.
Okay, let's go. Well, I think personally there's too many pay-per-views.
Yeah, but hang on, man. Hang on. There's pay-per-views because it's not the fact. It's not the problem. Is not there's pay-per-views. The fact is that the problem is that you're not getting your money's worth.
Yeah,
that's the real issue. That's the real issue. It's like
that's where I was.
You'll pay for the fight. You'll pay for the fight. You'll pay-per-view, but you want to see a stacked card. I want to see Bob Costas in a fucking tuxedo. Now, hang on for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I don't, D follows the NBA, right? So D remembers like maybe 5 years back where they canceled the season because they went on strike. The players went on strike, and then the owners locked them out. So there's one league, one single league, one show, one place to do it, one place to perform, and then the players union has to, in other words, they can demand more money, they can demand this, they can demand that, but at the end of the day, they can strike and the owners can lock them out. So both sides can walk away from it. Now, what you have in boxing, though, is you've got too many different leagues that these guys can go fight in. You've got basically what's happened here is they've unionized with Al Heyman. He's a manager demanding all these crazy purses. And if you're not going to pay him, he's going to put him on strike.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to let him box, then he's going to get a private investment injection and start his own promotion. The problem is he's not promoting them. He's also not managing them. So basically 20 years ago, what you have with the UFC today, basically a couple of big promotions. So in the UFC, you will fight each other. They will fight each other. They will be even matchups. The style matchups will be on point. They will be wars, stacked cards. You don't have that today because these guys, the only time you get a fight like Branchek and Cepeda is when you get lucky.
Yeah.
We just happen to fall ass backwards into that fight. You follow me?
Yeah. Well, you see that there, right? I'm not a UFC guy. Never really got into it. Never really watched it. So I'm gonna say here today that I really don't like watching guys on the ground wrestling for 3 rounds. When I do watch it, I see every time I ever seem to watch it, I always seem to get that scenario where one guy is just on top of the other guy and laying on the ground, just leaning on him. I don't really like that. So that puts me off UFC.
What other sports you like? What other sport do you like besides boxing?
You don't like cross sniffers.
Huh?
Okay. I like a sport you probably haven't heard of. GA Gaelic, and hurley. I like soccer.
Okay, soccer. All right, look.
Like tennis.
Soccer. I don't follow soccer, but look, these guys get paid basically ungodly amounts of money. That's one way to say it. You agree with me? I mean, like tremendous amounts of money.
Yeah, at the highest level, absolutely. Yeah.
At the highest level, yes. We're talking about the highest level. Yeah. They only get paid that amount of money because the promoter, aka the team owner, the league owners as a group, are making a profit on this guy's gigantic salary. You see what I'm saying? They're paying him. The promoter's job is to make as much money as possible and pay the vendors as little as possible, including the boxers, including the soccer players. Now they're getting crazy money because the owners are making crazy money. They work together. The owners collude together. There is no other show. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, in other words, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. Well, Well, I disagree with that because you got the Premier League, you got La Liga, you got Serie A, you got Bundesliga. There is plenty of options. Here's my thing: there's too many options for footballers. Mark said it the last day. There was a young guy, 17, 18 years old, Jadon Sancho. He was at Manchester City. He was in their academy, and he was looking to get his contract renewed. Now he was getting 10 grand a week, 5 grand a week. He wanted 110 grand a week, right? And he hasn't even played a game, maybe the odd cup game for Manchester City in the first team, but he hasn't really become a first team star. So he goes off and he gets a transfer. And he gets a transfer for £10 million or £10 million to a German team called Borussia Dortmund, where he went from 5 grand a week to 75 grand a week because that's the best he was going to get. So, and this guy was 17 years old at the time. Now he's one of the biggest stars in the world. There's a lot of teams that are interested in buying him. And they're talking about him going to a football team for 115 million pounds, where he will be earning 350 grand a week. From 110 to 350. That if he got a transfer, that's what he will be going up to, because he will only go to anyone who will pay his wages, and will more than double what he's paying he wants 350 grand a week, and if somebody came in and tried to buy him, that's what they'll be getting, or that's what they would have to spend on him. So there's too many options for footballers, you know, and that's not the only case that's happened to Paul Pogba. That's another example, right? He was a youth player at Old Trafford, Manchester United, when Alex Ferguson was manager, right? He went on. He went in. Him and his agent went and asked for, I don't know how much money. They asked for 70 grand a week, and Ferguson says, "Well, you haven't even played for us yet in the first team." He goes, "You're not worth 70 grand a week." He goes to Juventus. He goes to Juventus, and after that, the guy earned 100 grand a week at Juventus, and he came back to the Premier League, and he came back to Manchester United 3 years later as the first team star. United paid 80 million for him, which was very bad business because Ferguson was manager then. You know, I don't think Ferguson would have paid the money, but they paid 80 million for him, and he's on 250 grand a week. Hello?
Yeah. I don't know why you dropped off, Brian.
Oh, okay.
I get what you're saying, though. I don't think it's the lack of options either necessarily. Something I was gonna bring up is I think people like to talk about how this came up earlier. The UFC, they make good fights, and boxing, we don't really make good fight. At this point, like at this current juncture, I don't even think that's true. I've seen a couple fights in the UFC actually fall through. One that fell through multiple times is Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. There's always been something going on. One that they tried to make right now and it didn't happen was Dustin Poirier versus Tony Ferguson. And this isn't Ferguson's fault, really. He's kind of willing to fight anyone. It's normally the other guys are asking for a certain amount of money, or like something happens. Things just don't work out, right? There's plenty of fights that these big fights, or even nice contenders going against each other, and high level, top 3 guys, and they just fall through. Or you have fights that are advertised. I feel like a lot of it is the UFC does a better job with their promotion. If you want to look at that fight, sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, that's what we talked about in Mark's stream. Remember, the promotion. Remember, I said, if you click on any videos on YouTube, you won't see any promotions for boxing at all on YouTube. Like, where there's 2 ads at the beginning of most videos. Not one of them you would see for boxing, and I think that's one of the reasons why it tanked. Also, because I don't think a lot of people realize that there was even a triangle fight happening outside of a boxing community. Outside the boxing community, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, is that you in the chat right now, by the way?
No.
All right.
That's just tending to be me.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Like, for example, if you want to look at this fight, right? This fight I knew would be good. The Zepeda Baranchik. I didn't know it would be this good. Like they couldn't have prepared for this. They couldn't have. Oh, it's going to be a massive war. They wouldn't have known. I thought it was going to be a good boxing match, and it turned out to be a war. Sometimes fights like these fall into, I forget who said earlier, we tripped into this fight. We tripped backwards into, like, we very lucky to get this type of fight. But one fight people were talking about relatively recently was the Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley being a former champion, Covington being a former interim champion. Both guys coming off losses, but Woodley coming off 2 losses, right? So the main event of this match is 2 guys coming off losses, 1 guy coming off 2 losses. The guy who's the favorite is coming off of a TKO loss, and the former champion guy, who's ranked 5 or something like that, he didn't win a single round in his past 2 fights, and he hasn't won a round in 2 years. Yeah. But that's the best versus the best, So I think a lot of it is promotion and perception. In my opinion, if you were to have a rematch versus J-Rock and Jarrett Hurd, there would be similar asterisks, but I don't think there'd be similar issues of both guys coming off losses, 1 guy TK, right? That's not necessarily how it works. Those two guys can still be top guys, but it's how you promote it, right? At this juncture, I don't think. Oh, I guess Jarrett Hurd's not coming off a loss technically, but you know what I mean. At the elite level, he lost to J-Rock. J-Rock lost to Rosario. You can make these matchups and promote it right. I think boxing, the issue a lot of times is the promotion is just bad or lackluster. If you want to look at the Charlo one, I did see advertisements
Sorry
for
about that, y'all.
Derevyanchenko.
I had family emergency. Didn't take that
You're
call,
okay.
but thanks, IBT and Brian. Holding it down.
I was just saying the Derevyanchenko versus Jamal Charlo, that was a good fight. We knew it'd be a good fight. However, technically Derevyanchenko's coming off a loss, right? But how do you advertise that fight? For example, I brought up Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley. They never brought up the fact that those guys were coming off losses. One of them a TKO loss, another one 2 losses in a row, right? You didn't hear that. You just didn't hear. This is a former champion versus a former champion. This is 2 top guys, top rated. Like they kept stressing how these are the elite of the division are fighting each other here. But with Sergey Derevyanchenko versus Charlo, it's elite of the division versus a test or versus a guy who's always come up short. Why on earth would you market it like that? Oh, this is our top guy. He's going to go against a guy who's never won when it matters.
Can I say something, right? Top contender versus world champion. That's how you market that fight.
The number 1 contender in the entire division. That's how I would say.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, IBT, and I think that when they do things like that, not only does it send out the wrong message, but it kind of diminishes the challenger. Like, right? So when the guy wins, then how much credit can you give him? Because you just told the public that he's a guy that never wins when he steps up to whatever you say about him. You've already diminished his opponent. So what did he really do? Like, you know what I mean? It kind of, I don't know. I don't agree with that either. But people have their own marketing strategy. Boy, what's good? Bud said boxing needs more high-ranking tournaments. Zepeda and Baranchik were ranked neck and neck. Yeah. But true rankings too, Bud. You know what I mean? Appreciate you and with the super chat. It's also true rankings too because, like Carlos Ocampo and for Errol Spence, they gave him a ranking. The IBF gave him a ranking. Yeah, they do. What did he do to earn? What was he ranked 10th or 9th or something? What the hell did he ever do to earn that? So they just
I'm saying it's insane that he was mandatory.
But I mean, right, and so they created this mandatory domestic fighter who had never really fought on the American level. Like he hadn't tested the Jamal Jameses of the world, hadn't touched none of these guys. Right, and then they just thrust him in there with Errol Spence. What the hell you think is going to happen? So I'm just saying with that, but I agree if they're ranked honestly. Like, so if they're ranked honestly, like, oh yeah, these are 2 warriors, not a ranking like Ocampo, because then that just kind of throws everything off again.
Yeah, I honestly believe the people in boxing have done such a bad job of promoting the sport. Like not piece by piece, not like PBC and Top Rank and Matchroom and all that there. Not just that, but all as a whole, the sport has not been marketed the way it should have been. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that has a lot to me to do with the different networks and different styles. Just like IBT pointed out, like PBC does some horrible things, but a lot of people come to boxing, they're influenced somehow that are influenced somehow by the PBC. This is what they're gonna get. They're gonna get that style. Now, if people come to boxing and they're influenced from Top Rank, they're gonna get another style, which may not be pleasing either, because say if it was the Crawford versus Khan fight, and then they're interested in Top Rank and they come over there, and now Crawford's fighting Khan, and these people coming in, and then they plaster this guy Lomachenko all over the promotions. Like, well, who is this guy? I thought we was coming to see them fight. Now, see, would that not be confusing? So again, it just depends on these networks and how they promote. I don't think we can point the finger at any individual. I think it's
No,
a
I'm not.
problem in conjunction with the different styles, and
Yeah.
and we could probably find flaws in all of them.
Yeah, I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about as a whole.
Right.
As a
Yeah, yeah,
whole.
no, I
As
mean,
a
I'm
whole.
just piggybacking
Yeah.
off of what you're saying. I was
Yeah.
just kind of attaching what IBT was saying. Like, if you could create this atmosphere where it was champion versus the number one contender, or champion against the best guy in the division, if you could create the atmosphere where that's something done consistently, then it would, it's kind of agreeing with what you're saying, like boxing as a whole, but that's not what you have. You have these other styles of promoting and however they want to do it. It's like,
Yeah.
the
People
PBC did. You diminish an opponent. When you diminish an opponent, then you taking away from the intrigue of the fight, in my opinion. At least I
Yeah.
think that's where IBT was going with it. Like, you
Yeah.
making the fight less intriguing by diminishing the other guy.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what he meant. That's what I'm saying. People are easily conditioned. People's minds are conditioned. All they have to hear is he's coming off a loss.
Right.
Then then their eyeballs go in their head. Why would I be interested in this? Why can't they just not say number one contender, one of the toughest guys in the division versus a slick, good boxer in Jamal Charlo? They would have promoted that way, but they once you mention he's lost, people automatically think, well, this guy, this guy's no good at this level,
Yeah.
And that's a fan thing. That's a conditioning thing, right? That's what I'm saying. Altogether, boxing has done such a bad job of promoting itself, and people in boxing have done such a bad job of promoting the sport that now we are where we are.
And that's what I was saying earlier. That's something else that you can take upon yourself, Brian, and everybody. Like, and I'm a smaller channel saying this, so and I know that these haters listen to us anyway. So you motherfuckers too, with all your thousands of subscribers, promote the sport the right way. Y'all want the sport to grow, or y'all want it to stay as dismal as it is? I mean, bro, promote the sport the right way. That's the thing. Promote it with the excitement, like my man IBT said. This great fighter against this great champion, but promote it honestly too.
Yeah,
you got to think about this too. Don't promote these fights that's not really good fights. Like, if it's not really a good fight, don't promote it. You idiots, and you channels know what I'm talking about. Don't promote it. Let's not promote Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz like it's the fight of the century. And we pretty much know the outcome, because when fans come for that and one guy gets beaten to an oblivion and the other guy looks like he's been on a light morning jog, then yeah, that's being deceptive. That's what I see it with that type of, we got to promote the fights correctly. We all knew that Zepeda and Baranchik was a good fight. All of us thought it was hard to judge who was going to win. That fight was split up. People had Zepeda, people had Baranchik, split decision, knockout. It was a hard fight to pick. So we knew that was a good fight. But we know damn well Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz is no good fight. We know damn well Devin Haney and Gamble is not a good fight. So stop trying to promote it as if it is.
Yeah.
There's a fake promotion. There's a fake promotional aspect of these two. Yeah, honesty is the most important thing. But honestly, right? If I was promoting the what do you call it? The Charlo versus Deverenchenko fight, right? I honestly thought it would have been a tougher night's work for Charlo. So what maybe I would have said on my channel, I would have thought would have been truer, if you know what I mean. For me, that was the best performance of Charlo's career that I've seen from Jamal Charlo.
I agree. That was the best I've seen him fight. I said that tonight.
That's the best performance I've seen from him since J-Rock.
Yeah.
And I think why I think it was better than J-Rock IBT because he showed lateral movement and better head movement. Just those two simple things in this fight with the Reverend Chinko.
Yeah.
That's the only reason but I do agree that was a good performance against J-Rock as well. But his lateral movement and his head movement,
it was a different Jamal.
It was a different guy. He dipped like 4 or 5 shots one time. And I was like, holy hell, I've never seen Jamal move his head like that. I've never seen him move his head like that. He was boom, boom, bobbing and weaving with it. I had the Reverend Chinko missing. I was like, I seen him do that a few times, and I was like, and then just this simple lateral movement. He got it right though. He didn't just move laterally. He moved laterally, and his foot positioning was right. He popped the jab and kind of got out of there. And I'm like, wow, that's something that I'm just not accustomed to seeing from Jamal Charlo.
Yeah, I fought in the first 6 rounds of that fight. His time and his accuracy was brilliant.
No, Jose, I don't believe in him.
There's a fake me in the chat, D. So
I got him.
No, not you, Brian Harkin. Jose Yepes, he said he forgot D doesn't believe in holidays, and I was like, no, I know.
No, I'm saying there's a fake me in the chat.
Oh, okay.
There was.
Yeah, we got. They going around, man. They got the Brian Hawkins, the IBTs, the D Jeffersons.
Yeah.
I think they want to start some confusion, but everybody knows I don't give a shit. So I don't know if any of mine is working.
Fair enough.
I don't care. I don't care. People talk shit about me all day long.
Well, just in case this guy says something stupid or ignorant or something, it's not me, guys. All right.
I blocked him. I mean, I blocked him from the channel. I don't know why I wouldn't block an imposter. Apparently, there was a fake IBT like a couple weeks ago, so that's sick, man. I'm global now.
Yeah, bro, you made it. Once they start copying you, fam, you made it. You've made it to the top. So what else though? I want some ideas from you guys. It's channels. Like we smaller channels, bro. We start with the smaller channels, and we'll convince the bigger channels.
I'm gonna make prediction videos on the fights that I think are big or good or worth it. Fights that interest me. I'm gonna try to make more prediction videos. I'm really bad with prediction videos in the sense of either I do them way too early or way too late. I was supposed to do ones for the Charlo fights, but I just,
I think they're doing them earlier. In my opinion, would be better because this is why. You know how you do them later, and then something mental happens, or hear about something in the training camp, and then that kind of sways your judgment. And a lot of times when we second guess ourselves,
not me, D. Not me, D. I never get that.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I was meant to do the channel too, and then I got a way bad dose of flu, and I was like, I did free videos for the channel Rosario.
Yeah.
And every time I was coughing through it, and I was like, fuck this, I don't want to do it. I did a 7-minute video, and then I started coughing. I did 7 minutes without coughing, then I started coughing in between. I was like, fuck this. That was the third time I did it. And I was like, nah, I just can't do it. So.
Yeah. I would have given up. Yeah. I just do this later tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't make my white Povetkin prediction. I'm glad about that one.
I don't really care about being wrong. Hell, I was wrong about the Denver Nuggets Lakers thing. I don't care about being wrong.
No. I don't.
People forget. Here's the thing: it's people's ego or pride inside of them that really gets them about being wrong. But the reality is, people will forget a lot quicker when you got it wrong on a certain fight than when you hit that really big fight that no one sees coming. they always remember that shit.
Yeah.
Like IBT, I mean not IBT, Brian Harkin. I don't think, especially all of us in the league and all of us that 5th round TKO Zepeda. People gonna remember you picked that for a long time. They're gonna remember you picked it, but if you get it wrong, it's easily forgotten a lot of times.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
insane.
mean?
That's insane, dude. 5th round, like I knew it'd be a good fight. I thought Zepeda would win. I didn't think it'd be like that. You know what I mean? That's props to you, Brian.
Well, put it like this here. I saw the fight going a certain way, but I didn't see it going that way. But the fact that it was the 5th round, maybe it was a bit lucky. If you know what I mean.
No luck. Never say the L word.
Fair enough.
It was all skill.
Skill,
Yeah,
man.
right. That's what you better say. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I meant to do that. No, I meant to pick it that way.
Yeah.
You gotta be the guru, man. You can't be partially guru. But no. Yeah, man, that was just a good pick, bro. The thing is I thought that one of them was gonna get knocked out, but I didn't think it was Baranchik. Actually thought he was gonna knock Zepeda out. And the thing is, if Baranchik had a little more patience and wasn't looping those shots, he probably could have knocked Zepeda out.
No way.
He could have he could have stopped him. I'm not gonna
I'm
say
just
knocked
kidding.
him out, but he could have stopped him. He was leaving himself open too much, IBT. He would hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. I know I thought he was going to leave himself open, and Zepeda was going to box him, and it would be done through accumulation. That's how I saw the fight going. I didn't see knockout.
It was accumulation of him knocking his ass down 4 times. You know what I mean? But he got knocked down 4 times himself. So I was like, man, that's just crazy. Like,
the crazy fight. I got that fight. I felt like a young guy again watching that. You know, I felt like, you know, when you're younger and you see that, and you're like, this is fucking exciting. You know, like you used to get to see a fight and you used to feel excited. That's how I freaking felt during that fight. I haven't felt that in a long time when it comes to boxing.
Jose said he only had 2 fights wrong and still came in 20th. Because you suck. No, I'm playing. Because it's close points, bro. Like, you know, 5 or 6 points will have you way down right now because it was only 11 fights. When you get these short weeks, like 10, 11 fights, then you could be at a 6 or 7 point difference, but be 21 places down, literally, because it's not a lot of fights. Now, those weeks where we got 15, 17 fights and you only had 2 wrong, you would definitely be around the top, Jose. But it wasn't really a lot of fights that week. It was only, I think, 11 fights. So, you know, 6 or 7 point spread can really tear you up, you know.
Yeah.
Especially a 20-point spread, because that's 20 points that you gave up, Jose, if you missed 2 fights. So 20 points can send you sailing, buddy.
Well, 11, right, put it like this: 11 fights at 109 points.
All right.
You know, so
you didn't miss any, did you?
I think there was one there. I said UD, but it was majority decision.
No, you didn't miss. So you didn't pick wrong.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, you picked all the fights right. So
yeah.
Even if
what I'm mad about?
Points, you get 5 points, you still get 5 points for that fight. Go ahead.
I'm mad about the Magsayo. I was picking between ST or majority decision, and I flipped a coin, and they got majority decision. I was like, all right, well, I guess I do that one, and then they're being split.
Yeah.
That'd have been nice to hit on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded.
Yeah, I second guessed myself twice, 2 weeks back to back. Guess myself. The freaking Chavez, I knew that loser was gonna lose, and then I second guessed myself on Zepeda and Baranchik.
Yeah.
I thought Zepeda first, and then I just like, Baranchik gonna knock him. But went wrong.
That happens, you know. Some of them fights, they're hard to pick, you know. you think about it. Sometimes you think about it too long, and you actually chat yourself out of what your original thought was. I always try to go back to my original thought of how to see a fight going. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, after I weigh out all the pros and cons, and I go, nah, I'll just go back to my original thought.
Yeah, sometimes it's just better to do like surface level. You know,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean, I know there's people who've done film study for some of these fights, and I have. If I make a video, just so I can have some background content. You know, something specifically to look at, for example, right? But I didn't do any damn film study for Flores Jr. or Contreras or Ogawa or Buatsi or Babic. You know, you just look at the guy, you look at the opponent, you look at the box rec, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Babic is gonna stop that guy. That's for fact, right?
Yeah, you know.
Flores Jr. is gonna win on points. Some of these things are just a given, you know.
Yeah, I can't believe too. I got the Kennedy thing fight added the third round. So,
yeah, no, I did second.
Yeah,
I wish I did split decision on Magsayo, and I wish I did third round on Babic.
Yeah,
I missed Babic by 1-2. I think I picked second round.
Yeah.
I was thinking that it would be second or third because I would say, well, he'll last a round or two. The guy was kind of tough. And some knockouts his own. With Babic, this dude, you gotta at least hit him. If you don't hit him and make him feel something, then he's just gonna wreck you out, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I knew that this guy would hit him, at least hit him, and that would be enough to get him through one round, I thought. But I didn't think he'd make it through 2 rounds. That kind of screwed me there.
Yeah. I thought, I don't know. I just fought third round. Yeah, that I know Kennedy don't like the guy, tell you the truth offhand. I met him once or twice. Doesn't seem like the nicest guy in the world, but I thought he's a tough enough guy. I think he'll go 3 rounds with Babbage. So that was what I'm thinking on it.
You picked third in that fight too?
What?
You picked third round in that fight too?
Yeah,
Oh, that's why you won, fucker. You hit on 2 knockouts. You always gonna be real close to winning if you hit 2 knockouts. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Because that's an extra 14 points.
Yeah.
That probably boosted you on the KO the KO standings as well. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. Well, no, I don't. But
there's separate leaderboards for split decision / majority decision, and there's also a KO stat tracker. So let me see how many KO. Let me see how many KOs you got this season. Oh, those are your 2. Those are your 2. So yeah, they put you on the map basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mark is back.
How you doing, Mark?
What's up, P? What's up, P Boxer? What's up, Mark? Champ Ross, T-Tone Toledo. Oh, Mike. MFBC. What's up? What's good?
What's up?
Yo.
Sorry about that. I had to step off because I was eating dinner, man.
I stayed on and I'm eating.
Yeah, well, I've got some fucking manners.
Want some? Here, have some.
Get your vegan ass shit away from me, but
that's manners, man. I offered you some.
I ate some steak. And now I'm covered in cow blood on a vegan's platform.
Steak is no good for you, my brother.
Say that to the gays, bro.
Well,
you might as well.
Mark,
say that to the gays. What's up?
I need an idea from you. IBT gave me an idea and Brian gave me an idea. We need an idea from you. What can we do to play our part?
What, in boxing?
Yeah. What message can we push? Push the message to stop watching?
Yeah, don't watch it. Shit.
Okay, explain yourself.
99% of the time, you don't get the fights you want. You sit around and you wait 6 months and you get a good fight. Most of the time, you're complaining. You cry. What's the point in watching it?
Okay. Well,
I like to watch it.
Yeah, I like to watch it, and I don't know how that's going to be effective.
Y'all like to bitch. That's what y'all like to do. Bitch
on getting fans in. I'm saying, what's your idea? What can we do to get fans in? Oh, that's cool.
In America, lower pay-per-view prices.
Okay. Let me rephrase this.
Mate, I can't give you a solution.
He's saying, what can we? No, Mark.
I know. Let me rephrase it, because sometimes I don't think Mark does it on purpose. He just kind of listens to what you said. What message as content creators and live hosts can we push on our channel, Mark, to improve the state of boxing?
So what can we do as content creators to improve the state of boxing?
Yeah,
what message?
You have one.
I would say a collective front. Unity on what the problems are. Like, if there's an issue with rulings or judges or whatever, and we come on and we complain about it, it's not really enough. We need to kind of show a little bit of action towards it, I would say. Like, I sent in an email about the Rolly Romero scorecards to the State Athletic Commission. I think I was the only person to do that. If 100 more people had done that, I might have said a bit more. If 1,000 more people did it, I might have said more. We need to voice our frustrations, but we also need to praise what's good as a whole.
Yeah.
We do need to get together on that front, man. We can't just sit around doing what we do pretty much, which is, if I'm being honest, 98% of all boxing content is complaining.
Yeah.
This pay-per-view is this is that, this is that. Not the good things, not praising any of the fighters. We need to have like a collective front on the bigger problems, you know? We need to voice our displeasure properly. And we need to be honest to the boxing fans about what we think. I try to be as much as I can. I try to tell them exactly what I think. It can be negative. It can be positive. Nothing, like I love the statement Hatman Strikes Back has. No fighter is below praise.
Mm-hmm.
No fighter is below praise. No fighter is above praise. No fighter is below praise. No fighter is above criticism.
Right.
I finally got it out there. But it's like that with everything in the sport. I mean, we can't willy-nilly just support what we want because of one demographic or one ideology or one retrospect. Like, this is a sport. It's not about just, it's cool to support your own, but when it's supporting your own in the betterment of the sport, I understand when it's in the negative of the sport, and it's in the negative of what we need. Because these promoters do not care. They're businessmen. They're not sportsmen. They're businessmen. We're the fans, and we're here to watch the sport and enjoy it. So that's what we need to do, is have a unity against that, against the idea of pulling things down, ripping things apart constantly to build one or two things up, because eventually the whole thing will be torn apart and we'll have nothing left but shreds.
Right. That's a fact.
Nice.
That's a fact. Well, real quick, P Boxing. I gotta find that other P Boxing too that came in, because I know this is you for sure. I gave that dude a damn wrench earlier, and I thought it was this P Boxing. I thought it was the real P Boxing. Put it that way.
Nah, you gave a troll a wrench, bro. His name was P Boxing, like piss boxing.
Listen, IBT, fuck you. I was busy. I'm gonna take it away anyway.
Yo, this is intangible, bro. What do you?
I mean, now that's what you get, fucker, for fucking.
You thought you almost corrected yourself. You almost.
Oh shit. Oh man, you two. I don't know why I always get you two mixed up. Mark, I went to Intangible's channel and I was like, good video, IBT.
I don't know how either, because IBT's all like, good morning. Right? He talks like that, and then Intangible's like, well, I hit on the first button, didn't I? Like, you got one dude who sounds West Coast and the other dude who sounds like he's from Little House on the Prairie, bro. How the hell do you mix them up?
I don't know, man. I don't know why I get them mixed up. I don't know, but I do. It's one of those old things, I suppose. But shout out to Pete for the super sticker. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this imposter P boxing. What is this a phenomenon now that people running around with guys' name tags? Have you guys seen any fake D Jefferson running around? I know a long time ago.
I had a Dean Jefferson come on my channel like a long time ago.
I had a crackhead D Jefferson try come on my stream a few times.
Oh my gosh, man.
My favorite one is I actually had an IBT troll account the other day.
Yo, global. We are global now.
All right, there we go. I see him.
It was IBT, and then like there was a space, and it said "terrified." IB terrified. I like it.
Nice.
I got rid of him, P.
That's clever.
I got rid of the troll P. Removed him. I don't really care about people doing that shit. Like I ain't even gonna lie, but
oh, there's a fake me now. So.
If you fool me, you're getting blocked. I don't care what you do, but if you fool me, you're getting blocked. And the fake P just got blocked.
Hey, there's a fake me now. I expect to see me in a lot more channels. A lot more boxing streams.
Did he have your icon, Brian?
What?
It was similar. It was similar, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah. You don't have my icon on, right? Because that there's just a picture of me and my friends on the network.
They can copy that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Copy that same picture, and then put it on their logo, and it'll look just like you and your friends at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can all see Chris and Dia, can't you?
Huh?
He's the guy in the middle.
Hell no, I can't see nobody in that picture, Harley. I see a bunch of people in the pub.
Yeah, that's where we were.
Huh? What'd you say?
I said that's where we were in a pub.
Well, yeah, obviously you're in a pub, but that's all we can see, bro. It's just a lot of people in a pub.
Yeah, that's
all. It's not like we can make out people's faces or anything.
No, there's my former boxing, guys I used to box with. We just decided to go on a night out. That was a good night out, though. That's back 2015. That was a good night.
There you go. There's something that a lot of people won't realize. Irish people, whenever we have a good night out, we always remember it.
Oh yeah.
Always. Yeah. Every single good night we have, and we have a lot of them, but every one of them that was a really good night, we'll remember forever, like every moment. Like even running into the bathroom when you're about to piss yourself.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, Clip Boxing, what's up, Vic? Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, if you got anybody have any questions or anything else, I think we pretty much summed it up. The fans need to step up. That's the thing. Fans need to step up too. We make a lot of demands, but it's a lot of shit we could do as fans to help bring our sport back. Spend the money when you can. Like I said, I admit it. I was guilty of it. Maybe we need to start chipping in, man. Spending the money when we able to.
Yeah, I try to when I can.
I already do, man. Like, I'm pissed off because I have to spend an extra 13 quid this month because of Teofimo and Lomachenko being on pay-per-view for me on the stream. But I'm going to pay for it. But it pisses me off.
Yeah. Not like we ain't paying enough Mark A for it already.
I know. Like, Top Rank and, like, the Charlo card, right, was on, what was it, 26th? We're in the space of 3 weeks, right, between just 2 cards in America and, like, a subscription. I'm going to spend 40 quid on top of what I already pay. That's how much it's costing me.
Yeah, right.
So to watch boxing late at night at 5 o'clock in the morning, I think that's a problem. That is a problem. America now charging Europeans like higher fees than they charge Americans. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I mean,
not for non-pay-per-views, but just like I spend an extra $1 a month than you guys do on, like, you guys get full ESPN Plus. I only get Top Rank boxing cards. You get what I mean? If I want the PBC event, I have to spend, like, Terrell Gauch's fight versus Erickson Lubin. If I had bought that crap, that would have cost me $9.99.
Wow,
for me to watch that, for me to actually contribute, that would have cost me 10. I'm having mini pay-per-views for every PBC card. If I bought every PBC card, I'd end up, man, I don't even know. I'd end up spending like 180 quid by the end of the year just on PBC cards.
Yeah,
that's too much money, man.
Yeah, I spent $892 one year on pay-per-views altogether.
That was a lot of pay-per-views that year, then.
Before my wife cut me off, it was boxing and UFC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was
well, that explains it.
I was buying damn near everything. She said, "That's it. That's enough." Oh boy. Yeah, I was buying any event and every event.
Hey guys, go. I gotta go, guys. I'll catch us later.
Brian.
Take care, Brian.
Appreciate you coming through, fam.
Yo, peace.
No worries. Have a good one, everyone.
All right. You too, Brian. IBT, give me some closing thoughts anyway. We're going to shut this down.
All right. What is worse, boxing fans of the sport of boxing? Definitely boxing fans. What makes the sport are the fighters in there, but the second thing in line is the fans. And I feel a lot of the times the fans are supporting the wrong types of fights, and they're not supporting the fights that they should, right? One thing I really like that Mark has done, him and Ring IQ, they're hyping up Kosei Tanaka versus Kazuto Ioka. Those are the types of fights I think that the sport should be bigging up, not Leo Santa Cruz versus Tank Davis. I think the Charlo card should get bigged up. I'm very saddened that the entire discussion surrounding that card was the price of the pay-per-view. I want the sport to be in a place where the fighters can make money and we can get the fights that we want. And so far, it seems like there's just struggle of balance. And the people that do have platforms are using their platforms to big up just poor fights, the fights that aren't actually going to grow the sport.
Yeah, well, appreciate you, my brother. Always welcome. And see you next time. My man, Mark, Unrivaled. Give me some closing thoughts there, brother.
What's worse, the sport or the fans? I think there's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, to be honest. I think a lot of the time the fans don't get what they want and they voice their displeasure. Then on the other side, I see fans, as IBT said, bigging up fights that don't need to be bigged up, only the big fights. And we're meant to be the actual hardcore fans, the ones who have channels. We should be covering the actual fights that need to be built. I mean, you see people like Errol Spence get built up wilder, but you don't see a guy like Rasheed Warren get any building, like when he was going up to fight against Ubali. Kind of disappointing. We should definitely put more efforts in. I've helped build a couple of fights myself off of my small platform, and I'd like to see people do that too. It's not just about invested interest from the casual fan. They need us to be able to guideline them on the right way. So if you've got a channel, try and guideline them in the right way. Don't just support what the biggest thing is telling you to. Don't just do it for views, because if that's all you're trying to do, you're not really going to get anything unique. Your channel ain't going to stand out. You're just going to be another person pushing the same thing as other people who stands out just to get views where you get nothing out of
it. Indeed. Well said, my brother. Always welcome, Appreciate you coming through. Well, guys, I'm going to say this. What they said, they actually cleaned it up pretty good. I'm going to just keep doing my best, call it straight down the line. And I think that I'm going to take part in getting more information out about other fighters, other smaller fights. I'm going to take my part in doing that, because I myself am guilty of sticking to the trending topics, and when you stick to the trending topics, the other guys, the important, lost in translation. Like, if it's not enough of a push in that fight, A lot of people may not know about it. So take my part, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, my man IBT and Unrivaled. You know, they're going to do their thing. Stuart Little, what's up with you, fam? Came in right at the end. Stuart Little in question mark. But I appreciate y'all sliding through. So everybody make sure y'all hit that like, share for me if you can. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.